Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia is simply one of the most beautiful on-campus stadiums in college football. It will be rocking much like the Georgia team bus was literally rocking as the Bulldogs arrive. A few hugs for Aaron Murray and his teammates as they made their way in, and a former teammate, Zach Mettenberger, now the starting quarterback at LSU. Back home, he grew up 10 miles from Athens. It's the LSU Tigers, undefeated against the Georgia Bulldogs, once beaten. This joint will be full. We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS, LSU and Georgia. And good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. So glad you could be with us. This is without question the featured matchup in college football today. Gary, this will be a true big boy football game.
It really is. When you're talking to all the guys and the coaches, sometimes players in modern football have to try to find the action. Well, the action's going to find them. It is really measure yourself out here against really great competition.
And we do have two of the best quarterbacks in all of college ball going head-to-head. They were once roommates here at Georgia. It's Aaron Murray for the Bulldogs, starting his 45th game. Zach Mettenberger coming back home as the leader of LSU. We'll develop that story throughout the day, but talk a little bit about their respective talents.
Vern, these games are always high-pressured for quarterbacks, but I think it's even more pressure in this football game. You know both of these guys. They came here to Georgia together. You know the pressure's going to be on each one of them to try to show they're the guy. I mean, for Zach and Aaron Murray in this stadium, one where Zach grew up watching football, and Aaron Murray is now the quarterback for Georgia. It's going to be pressure-packed, and which one of those two guys is going to make the plays in the fourth quarter? You know it's going to come down to that.
Well, it's one of the cliches of this game, but cliches are there because they're true. If your running game is working well, it sure helps with the passing game. We've got a couple of really outstanding running backs.
We really do. These are elite quarterbacks, but they've got elite running backs to help them in this game. Not much by the quarterback maybe, but the running backs are the best in this conference. We saw Todd Gurley last year break out. He was a man last year, but this year he's bigger, he's faster, he knows more of the offense, and he will be a threat on every down for Georgia. And by the way, LSU may have the next best back in this league. He's coming on strong. Jeremy Hill is a breakaway threat. Both teams have that help for the quarterback and their offense.
Well, it's said the teams are a reflection of their head coaches. Mark Richt is in his 13th year at Georgia. Les Miles, hard to believe this, in his 9th year at LSU. Their personalities could not be more of a contrast.
No, I mean, Les will say anything, and Mark's much more measured. But their teams, Vern, their teams are mirror images of each other. They like to play strong between the tackle football first, their quarterback second, and both teams believe in this lead, you have to win the line of scrimmage to win the championship.
In every sense, this is going to be a heavyweight battle. Back in Athens right after this. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by New York Life Insurance Company, Taco Bell, AT&T, and by Bud Light. Sanford Stadium, and coming on the field first, the Bulldogs of Georgia. They've won 14 straight in Mark Richt's 13 years, 65-13 in Sanford Stadium. And not far behind them, led by Les Miles, J.C. Copeland first out. The Tigers of LSU, 29 straight wins in September, and make note of this, all time, LSU has won 7 and lost only 6 here against the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's get down to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We just talked about how this is going to be a heavyweight fight. How did you prepare your team for the physicality that we're about to see?
Well, we just practice that way. We try to play that way. We try to think that way. But we know they do too. It's going to be a great battle.
We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
No hiding, like we've said. I mean, Mark knows that he's been telling us all week that he's been preaching to his team that if you don't want to stand up there and be a man, LSU's going to run right over you. The first team that smells any weakness will win this game.
Well, Tracy Wolfson just ran the 53-yard dash. She's live with Les.
That's right, Coach. We talked about it before. How you keep Zach Mettenberger's emotions in check. What did you say to him before he took the field?
He need not worry about anything other than playing quarterback for LSU. That's a man-sized job today. Just play like you're supposed to. We'll be fine.
We appreciate it. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Well done, Tracy. Couple of Michigan grads, separated by a generation, but they've been known to say to each other, go blue. In this case, a sea of red, dappling of purple and gold. 92,000 plus on hand at venerable Sanford Stadium. Just a brilliant late September afternoon as LSU takes on Georgia. They have won, LSU that is, the last 2 games. Just perfect. 75 degrees, a slight breeze, and continued sunny skies. James Hairston will kick off. Reggie Davis, true freshman, about to make his first kickoff return of the year. He did catch a 98-yard pass last week. That was Aaron Murray's 100th career pass touchdown. Hairston for LSU, this will be his 31st kickoff. 20 of them have gone for touchbacks. LSU won the toss and deferred. And he chases this one all the way through the end zone. And so the Bulldogs will start on offense. Aaron Murray making his 45th start. Every game he's played since his first game as a freshman here at Georgia.
Was out at practice Thursday, Vern, and he had a brilliant day. It was like watching a Drew Brees practice many years ago. The ball really never hit the ground. Every checkoff was sound. He was in complete focus on Thursday for this game.
Already with 2 undergraduate degrees. He was in graduate school and dropped the course load because he was taking 12 hours, and it was just a bit much. There's the handoff to Gurley, bounces outside. He's chased and out of bounds, but a substantial gain on first down. Quan Alexander, the starting linebacker today, made the tackle.
Well, if you don't wrap up this man, they named Gurley a captain of this game, sending him a message, by the way.
Flag is down, so is Gurley stopped over on the left side by Daniil Hunter, number 94.
Ball start. Offense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Canarius Gates with the false start. Starting lineups presented by Chick-fil-A. Gates, Lee, Andrews, Burnett, and Houston. Fullback is Hicks. And Colton Houston will develop his 3-year battle to become eligible here. This is his first year to play. It's a long story and kind of complicated, but has a nice ending. Here's Gurley. Out to the 41-yard line. A 15-yard pass catch from Aaron Murray defensively. Rasco Johnson, Ego Ferguson, Daniil Hunter. Quan Alexander starts for the injured Taj Jones, and we'll talk a little bit more about the honor of wearing number 18. This year it goes to Lamine Barrow. It's a tradition that goes back to the year that Matt Mock, wearing that number, led the Tigers to the NCAA championship. Out of the gun, Murray across the middle. Perfect pass. Justin Scott Wesley.
Well, you can see the game plan from Mike Bobo to start this game. He's going to try to soften up this LSU defense. By the way, that has 9 new starters from a year ago. It's a very young defense, and they got the experienced Murray starting to pick them with the short passes to begin with.
Well, line stayed set. That's a called play. Rhett McGowan, number 27, makes the catch.
On this one, the center saw the defense in the neutral zone, so he snapped the ball. You have a free play. Watch. Andrew sees the defense in the neutral zone. He snaps it. You got a free play. Whether it's incomplete or not, it's 5 yards.
Well, in the background, you could hear Matt Leffler, I think, say that it was a neutral zone infraction on the defense, free play, so the penalty declined, and Georgia is moving easily on their first possession. Murray with a lot of time. Got it! Arthur Lynch, the tight end, out of Dartmouth, Massachusetts.
Arthur Lynch caught 4 passes last week, and he is a real threat at tight end. Right there, he gets a little stop and then into the middle of the field, and it's up-tempo, and another penalty this time. This one looks like perhaps too many men on the field for LSU. Thrown from the back, Judge.
Anthony Johnson was trying to get off the field, number 90.
And since Georgia did not substitute, they hurried up and snapped the ball.
Before the snap, illegal substitution on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Now that was Johnson, the standout defensive tackle, who was hustling out the field and did not make it. They went with the quick snap.
And you really have to be aware of that after first downs. It's very dangerous to substitute after a first down if the other team does not.
Gurley goes left. Breaks the tackle of Quan Alexander. Picks up an additional 4 yards after that. Les Miles still a placid demeanor. This is the first drive of the game. Gurley really running well early on. The Verizon Red Zone offense, 19 trips so far, 13 touchdowns. National average is 63%.
It's a great combination, an experienced quarterback and a loaded tailback.
We've got the 3 wides to the right side. On first and goal, Gurley. Stiff arm Alexander, who attempted to make the tackle, and Gurley is brought down at the 4. Pound, pound, pound. Play action. Tackle was made by DJ Welter, number 31, the middle linebacker for LSU.
Plenty of height. Michael Bennett in the slot, one of his favorite players to go up top with, number 82.
Chris Conley is the wide man, bottom of the screen.
Man-to-man look all over. There he is to Michael Bennett.
Touchdown, Georgia. Most of last season with a torn ACL. He was injured in the 4th game of the year. Marshall Morgan on for the extra point. It's good.
Vern, not only did they have their best tall receiver that Aaron Murray loves to go to Bennett, but he's got a match against the safety in Craig Lawson. I mean, this is basically checkers. You got your best receiver on a safety, Kingman.
Impressive.
Sure was.
75 yards in 8 plays. It took 320. Georgia by 7. Everybody wearing red, feeling pretty good about things right now. The most impressive opening drive for Georgia.
And big picture, everybody outside this conference, because of Clemson's defeat of Georgia, are feeling pretty good about this game. Long way to go, though.
Aaron Murray, 103 career touchdowns now.
I'm telling you, Bernie, he put on a show Thursday. And a lot of times it's, shells, helmets, no pads, a lot of goofing around. Aaron Murray was so focused yesterday. He ran every play. I said it, and I told Aaron this. You were in the meeting room.
Right.
I had not seen a Thursday like that since I saw Drew Brees do that many years ago, where he cared about every drill and every pass.
That's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah, they're very similar and really care about football the same way.
Marshall Morgan kicks it to the 1-yard line where Odell Beckham Jr., a dangerous return man, counter punches out across the 30 to the 34. And now one of the main themes of this afternoon's game, Zach Mettenberger. He grew up 10 miles south of Athens, Watkinsville, signed first in the class of 09, and then in the spring of 2010 was arrested, ultimately pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts of sexual battery, was dismissed from this team, and his sojourning has brought him back here. Jeremy Hill with the first carry. Leonard Floyd, number 84, makes the tackle.
Yeah, also Jordan Jenkins, Vern, took it on right at the point of attack. He's the one, Jenkins, that had to take on Copeland. That'll be a story all game. Can the linebackers take on that fullback?
Copeland slotted behind his left tackle. Mettenberger back to pass for the first time, goes into the flat to Jeremy Hill. And let's give you the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Thank you. And here they are for LSU: Collins, Alexander, Porter, Turner, Hawkins. J.C. Copeland is a Georgia lad. We talked with linebacker Jordan Jenkins. They knew of each other in close by high schools. And now Copeland is a load. Out of the gun, Georgia going to blitz.
This will be an interesting call. Was it Georgia in the neutral zone that forced LSU, or did LSU go early?
Before the snap, offside on the defense, on the nose guard. That's a 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I think it was Jordan Jenkins, number 59, that was faking the blitz. He's back here. He comes up to and tries to guess the snap count and misses it. Good call. Big difference, Vern. 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 5, right?
Wow. 2 wide receivers. Now the tight end comes way wide to the left. Mettenberger got a man. It's Jarvis Landry. That's his 25th catch in 4 games and 1 possession. That's good for a gain of 10. Well, we talked about the youth of the LSU defense. This is not exactly a senior-laden team. 3 true freshmen starting, one of whom is Trey Matthews at a safety position. This time, Hill is cut down. Jeremy Hill's coming off a career-high rushing effort, 184 yards in that rain-drenched win at Tiger Stadium last Saturday night. 2nd down and 7.
And Vern, on this drive for LSU, it's a little different for this season. They were one of 8 teams that hadn't trailed all year. This is the first time that LSU has trailed in the season 2013.
Play action. Mettenberger rolling right, being chased by Jenkins, and that one intended for Beckham is tipped away by Damian Swan, number 5. Did
he get his arm on Beckham? Well, it was.
I think so.
I kind of interesting at the LSU bench. Very surprised not to get that call. And Les Miles walked all the way down there to argue with that side judge. I think he missed it, and I think Les was correct on that.
They're down 7. This LSU team has played so well on the road, as you saw with that graphic. Here comes the blitz. Mettenberger across the middle. Got a man! It's Cadron Boone, of all people, and he strolls in untouched. 48-yard touchdown. Only his second catch of the season. So much emphasis on Beckham Jr. and Landry, and here comes Cadron Boone, who is a senior and has played a lot, but not so much a part.
Hey, listen, you've got a ex-NFL coach in Cam Cameron who's tutoring the quarterback, Zach Mettenberger, and in this case, Georgia just gave away the coverage. It was way too easy.
Colby Delahousse kicks the extra point inside the right upright. Another look.
Damian Swan had the coverage, but it was tipped off early right here with the safety coming up way too early. He knew it from the get-go. Bad technique by Swan, taking an outside technique, and real simple. These guys are too good. Even with Mugger coming in there unblocked, he knew he had a touchdown pass the whole way.
Now that was impressive.
Got it.
Both teams impressive on their opening possessions offensively. Both quarterbacks impressive in their initial possessions in this game.
It's fun football watching this stuff, I tell you. Well-coached players, high-level players. You make a mistake, it's like serving one of those 93-mile fastballs or belt high. The other team is going to hit it.
James Hairston will kick off. Reggie Davis, again, the deep back for the Georgia Bulldogs. Line drive. One hopper picked up short. And back out to the 25-27-yard line. Kyle Karemplis, a backup, I mean a real backup tailback. Murray's last drive.
Well, he carved him up. Great play calling by Mike Bobo. He got his quarterback off quickly with a couple of short passes. Then he carved him up down the middle, and then the easy move against the safety to score the touchdown. Murray was perfect. The play calling was perfect, and Todd Gurley did his part. 5 different receivers. How about that? That really says a message.
Yeah. Conley and Justin Scott Wesley on the far side. And Todd Gurley is the running back. Now Conley comes in motion. They give it to Gurley, who's hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Loss of 3.
Penetration on the inside, and that time it was Rasco, number 59, that got inside. A little slow developing play, and against those defensive ends, those quick defensive ends, you have to hold your blocks.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. A tackle made by Jamarie Rasco. 2nd, 13. Let's go to Gurley one more time. Hey, now let's go back to the studio for a forward update. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, Gary, this was an upset alert non-conference game for the Gamecocks in Orlando against Central Florida. After trailing 10-0, 28 unanswered, this guy, Mike Davis, the difference. One of his 3 touchdowns, all in the second half. They hold on to win it 28-25. Big one for Spurrier to stay in the hunt nationally. Back to you.
Well, South Carolina has one conference defeat. That was here 2 weeks ago at the hands of the Georgia Bulldogs.
South Carolina fans were happy with that Zach Mettenberger touchdown.
Oh, yes.
They need Georgia to lose 2 games.
Andrews over the ball, snap back, 4-man rush, LSU. Murray is a perfect Completion percentage now, Jay Rome, the backup tight end, made that stop.
Rome, Lynch. I'll tell you, the run by Gurley on long yardage, he fell forward where you could throw a short play like that. Now the question is, did the ball come out? Will it be reviewed, or will Georgia try to get a quick snap here?
Well, they do get a first down. Keith Marshall is on to spell Gurley. They are roommates, wearing numbers 3 and 4. Murray gets protection. Ball is batted back. Looks like that was Ego Ferguson, number 9.
Excuse me, Vern, part of stopping those quick slants and those quick, bubble screens nowadays, J.J. Watt has kind of taught even college football. The defensive lineman must bat a few down. You cannot depend on your defensive backs to defend that short pass all game.
Well, Ferguson used his head on that one.
Yes, he did.
Second down and 10. Blitz incomplete. That was behind Jay Rome. And it's 3rd and 10. Micah Eugene defending. Number 34. 3rd down 10 from the Georgia 38-yard line in a 7-7 ball game. 3 down now. Anthony Johnson is the nose. Georgia with 3 wide to the left side and 1 bottom of the screen. Across the middle it goes, intercepted. Wow. Picked off by Anthony Johnson, who dropped back into coverage. And Murray is picked off, and LSU has great field position.
Well, LSU only rushed 3 players on this play. And then one of the 3 who rushed, Anthony Johnson, dropped out on it. Watch Anthony Johnson. There are only going to be 3 of them. Excuse me. I tried to center that up. Anthony Johnson comes in, says he can't get him, and he goes, oh, well, I might as well back up. Trying to get the ball to Marshall, and he backs right up into the play.
And so here's LSU at the 34-yard line in a 7-7 ball game. Handoff, Jeremy Hill. Bangs over left guard. Rameek Wilson, who leads this team in tackles, made that one.
What do you think's going through Zach Mettenberger's head after that touchdown pass? Just think how long he's waited to throw a touchdown pass in this stadium. I mean, probably since he's been 6-7-year-old kid.
He saw his first game here as a 7-year-old, and I think most of you know, but if you're a casual college football fan, perhaps you don't. His mom, Tammy, has worked in the Georgia athletic department for 14 years. Here's Mettenberger, rolls out, finds Jeremy Hill. He's tough to bring down. Well, from 09, here is the Georgia team photo. Aaron Murray, Zach Mettenberger. Mettenberger signed first out of Oconee High School, and then Murray from Tampa signed second. They were actually roommates for 1 semester, along with offensive guard Dallas Lee.
Let's see what Cam Cameron, has in the red zone to solve some problems for LSU.
He's got Jeremy Hill, but that's a nice piece of defensive work. And he's knocked out of bounds by Josh Harvey Clemens, number 25.
Mern, last year, one of the bugaboos for LSU was their red zone touchdowns. Last year, there were 27 for 53 opportunities in the red zone, 51%. To give you an example, Alabama was 74% touchdowns. Georgia was 72%. 51% won't cut it to win a championship.
Well, that is one reason Cam Cameron was brought in his first year as the athletic director, as the offensive coordinator, beg your pardon, for Les Miles. Mettenberger.
Beautiful route.
Jarvis Landry broke one tackle. Can't break the second, but he's inside the 5.
You're not allowed to do the Deacon Jones head swat at defensive end, but he sure did do it at wide receiver. Damian Swann had no chance, and these two physical wide receivers for LSU, they're NFL-ish.
The rise in red zone numbers for LSU. Nice play. Josh Harvey Clemens cut through, wasn't blocked, and brought down Jeremy Hill.
Harvey Clemens reads this ball, play quickly, knifes in, accelerates. You just make it bounce out. Give credit to that defensive line, forcing Hill out of his primary hole on that play.
Second and goal from the 5. Hill slanting inside the 5. Nice piece of defensive work again. Josh Harvey Clemens, and Hill is stopped short.
Well, you can see that the LSU coaching staff believes they can run the ball inside on Georgia. So far, they have not been able to do it. On third down, they're coming in with the receivers, though, aren't they?
Yes. Third and goal. Latter moments, opening quarter. Landry, Boone, and Beckham are the 3 wides.
This is Travis Dixon right here, a tight end lining up wide. That forces a linebacker to go out with him. Meek Wilson has out there with Dixon.
Mettenberger, no pressure. Touchdown! Cadron Boone's second of the ball game. All set up by the interception from Anthony Johnson.
That was great eye control by Mettenberger. He had 3 players covering 2. 2 went with 1. Pretty easy, Vern. Who would you throw to? The other guy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Here's Delahousie on for the extra point. That had a little slice to it, didn't it?
Yes, it did. To declare the formation, they sent the tight end wide and got a linebacker out. Now he's got these 2 defenders inside on Landry. If both of them go with Landry, he'll throw to the next one. They both go, throw to the next one. Beautiful job. Beautiful read.
It was Shaq Wiggins, a freshman safety, who was defeated on the play. Mettenberger has now thrown 2 touchdowns in this game. Let's take a look at our Home Depot tools for success. His first touchdown toss.
Vern, great coaches take a gray area and make it black and white. Watch Cam Cameron and Zach's use of the silent snap count declaring the blitz. Watch when he lifts his leg, that declares the blitz. He reads it. He knows it's coming in his mind now. He knows he's got the bottom of the screen one-on-one. Even with an unblocked player, he knows exactly where that ball. Now, down on the goal line, read your keys. Take the linebacker out with a tight end. 2 guys inside, 3-on-2. Who takes 1 guy, 2-on-1? Somebody's got to be the other guy. That is good coaching. You take a guy with a lot of talent and you teach him, take the gray out of it. A lot of people can do what Zach can do, but imagine him. Les told Tracy all he has to do is do his job. Nice job.
So far, I think, and Cam Cameron in his first year as offensive coordinator told us last night he's given too much credit for Mettenberger's fantastic start to this year. But it's hard to ignore that coming into this game, the 5th game 2 years ago, here comes the kick. Mettenberger had thrown 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Here is Reggie Davis, and he's down at the 20-yard line. with the 2 touchdowns. He's 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. See more of today's game with the All-22 camera angle exclusively on CBSSports.com. Watch the action now live at CBSSports.com/SEC.
Now, if you're a Florida fan, you're saying, okay, since the Florida win 2 years ago in 2011, we have been on fire at home scoring points. They've averaged since that game 45-17, scoring more than 40 points all but 2 games. So they should be able to get points and score points.
Well, they've got Gurley at tailback, and he's pretty good. Speaking of Georgia, Craig Lawson. That's a gain of 24.
This time Theus is in there, number 71, replacing Colson Houston, number 75. They're going to shift around, keep their guys very fresh in this football game. Long game.
First down 10. 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. Nice. Murray finds Michael Bennett again.
Bennett coming back from an injured knee last year in surgery, missed the last half of last year. You can tell that he is the guy that Aaron Murray feels comfortable with throwing that ball in the middle of coverages.
They load up wide receivers to the left, and they come right with the run. Oh, he is a man. Now let's go back to the studio for a Ford update. Here's Tim.
Fellas, we talked about this being Separation Saturday. Number 11, Oklahoma State, really sort of carrying the banner for the Big 12 against West Virginia, a team that lost 37-0 last week to Maryland. Here's J.W. Walsh. He's picked off by Darwin Cook. Dana Holgerson's team rebounds and wins. Back to you.
All right, Tim, it's 14-7 here. The key play, an Anthony Johnson interception of an Aaron Murray pass. That set up LSU short yardage, and Mettenberger threw his second TD to break a tie. Keith Marshall this time. Now, if he gets into the secondary, watch out.
He's gone.
He's got great speed.
Marshall is a member of the Georgia track team. He's gotten bigger, been nicked a little bit this year, but he's getting healthy, and you're right. He gets to the second level, they're changing the scoreboard.
Well, Gurley gets a breather. Marshall, his roommate, both highly recruited athletes. Here's Bennett getting in the slot, top of the screen. Play action. Murray goes deep, got a man open. Chris Conley, touchdown Bulldogs.
Oh, man.
Looked like Lawson might have been victimized for the second time. And Murray and Mettenberger both have 2 TDs now.
You're seeing 2 players that will play on Sunday.
Marshall Morgan with the extra point. Aaron Murray answers.
As time Aaron Murray does his job and reads his keys. Here's who he's looking at. Whichever guy he goes with, if he goes with the slot, he'll take this guy. I think they switch out here, but you know what I mean. The inside guy and the outside guy. Bennett comes inside. He watches the inside safety. He collapses. Go to the next guy. And Connolly makes the catch.
Chris Conley. The touchdown pass, beautifully thrown from Murray. Nice piece at the end of the end zone.
I can say he made me a better quarterback because every day at practice, I know how to bring it every single day because we were in a heated battle for about 2 years of just going back and forth, back and forth.
He's had an outstanding career so far at Georgia, and you know, we still stay in contact a little bit, but you know, this game's you know, there's more on the line than just you know, my relationship with Georgia, my relationship with you know, past teammates. It's you know, 2 teams that want to be in the SEC championship at the end of the year.
And to reiterate, Mettenberger signed first in the recruiting class of 09. Murray second.
And you know, in 09, interesting story. That's the year Joe Cox was the quarterback. Remember, Georgia started out 1-4 that year. A suspension of A.J. Green. And Mark Rick was telling us that, you know, Mettenberger was a little ganglier at that time, not ready. Aaron Murray would have played, but he had a sore arm.
Right.
Was not ready to play, so they went the whole year with Joe Cox. And that's the reason that Murray's playing this year, because they didn't burn the red shirt in 09.
Odell Beckham with the kickoff return. He's got some room out across the 27, and then rudely that journey is interrupted by Kosta Vavlis, who has been a special team standout for Georgia for a long time.
You know, Vernon, got to say, excluding last week's game, okay? Right? We've watched some quarterback play here, haven't we, so far? I mean, we've got Johnny Manziel and A.J. McCarron in that first game, and now these two guys. You know, I've been in the conference since 2006, and this is the best group of quarterbacks I've seen in this conference.
Well, here's Mettenberger and LSU. This is their fourth offensive possession. 14 all. Play action. Mettenberger looks to his right, has a lot of time, and one option in front of Damian Swan. It was intended for Odell Beckham Jr. Well, Cam Cameron, as we said, in his first year, he was fired as the offensive coordinator late in the season by the Baltimore Ravens. But through the first 4 games this year, take a look at that. He was on the coaching staff with Les Miles under Bo Schembechler at Michigan, among other stops. 2nd and 10, timeout. It's been a bit fun to watch. Time call. JV and the quartet. The NFL today presented by Southwest Airlines. Final minute, first quarter. Back and forth. 14-14. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, top of the screen. Travis Dixon is the tight end. Now he comes to the near side next to Lyle Collins. Motion, and let's see. Trey Turner jumped. Was he induced?
Yeah, he started a little late, though. Let's see if he gets away with this. It's like he had a second thought to move. Like,
you're right.
Right? Let's see if he gets away with it.
Oh, this is my chance.
Before the snap. False start. Offense.
Yeah, he didn't. See,
it's a 5-yard penalty. Check it out.
It has to be a natural reaction to the movement. Inside, I think it's 93. Mays moves, and then Bailey moves, but Turner doesn't move naturally. He kind of forced it.
Loss of 5. Connor Neighbors is in it. Fullback, that's Neighbors coming bottom of the screen. Mettenberger across the middle, great. Jeremy Hill, wow.
Jeez. I mean, this, I hate to say it, I mean, it's almost unfair. I mean, right now, Cam Cameron is grabbing plays from the Baltimore Ravens. Shift the fullback out against the deep zone. See the 2 deep safeties. Drop it off to the running back. And Ray Rice, I mean, Jeremy Hill takes that ball and goes for it.
Well, Trey Matthews made the mistake of tackling air. There's Cam Cameron in the middle of the screen.
Brilliant play calling. Both he and Bobo are on their games with their quarterbacks.
Hill, cut back. And tackled. Well, we've talked a lot about Mettenberger's issues. And we near the end of the first quarter, Jeremy Hills had issues of his own. In January 2012, he pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor. He sucker punched a guy in a bar from behind. He did so while he was on probation for a previous offense. Les Miles had a team vote as to whether to get him back on the team, allow him back. Are you surprised they said yes? We're back for the second quarter. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson. Georgia and LSU, this one has lived up to its billing. Great play by the quarterbacks, great play by the running backs. Good tactical plans by both coaches. And we start number 2, second down 5, Louisiana State from midfield.
No. Oh, brother.
My gosh. Well, with the exception of that play, we've seen a lot of offense today. Seems to me, Gary, we've come a long way since LSU 9, Alabama 6 2 years ago.
Right.
How do you explain the profusion of points in the SEC this year?
Well, I just think better play and more coaches dedicated to offense, but experience at quarterback like this game. I mean, you got 2 NFL quarterbacks, 4 NFL receivers, coaches who believe in their quarterback and are willing to call the plays. I mean, it's a perfect storm. And then top that off, the 2 defenses last year, they had 15 players combined drafted in the NFL.
Exactly. Third down. Blitz up the middle.
Same play.
Yes. Terrence McGee spelling Jeremy Hill at running back. He bore the brunt of the first tackle, and then this one because of the blitz.
Yeah, it was Leonard Floyd that put the pressure on and forced that ball out before he wanted to. Amaro Herrera was the guy who defended it very nicely.
Jamie Keane is the new punter for LSU. Everybody across the country grew familiar with the Australian Brad Wing. He's gone.
This guy can kick too, huh?
Yes. There's a fair catch taken at the 9-yard line by Damian Swan. This LSU team is allowing 1.2 yards per punt return. There's one play. Here's another. Nice. Herrera. LSU, Georgia. Let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, thanks, Vern. We'd heard the story all week about Zach Mettenberger's mother, Tammy, and how head coach Mark Richt gave her 2 weeks off from the athletic department here at Georgia. Well, she has been incognito all week. She didn't want to do any interviews. She is here today. She's sitting in the LSU stands. This was taped earlier. She has now since moved around. But, guys, Zach Mettenberger saying this has been an extremely awkward and stressful situation for not only him, but his mother and his whole family, guys.
All right, Trace, thank you. Zach Mettenberger quoted earlier this week saying, I can't wait until Sunday morning when this one is over and all the conversation about his return is complete.
But you know what? Both have answered the bell.
Yes.
Murray and Mettenberger, I mean, the jitters are gone now. It's football.
Out of the spread with Keith Marshall at his side. Murray will take the snap. Looks deep left side. Way downfield. Has a man. Oh, incomplete. It was Justin Scott Wesley. Jalen Collins, number 32, was a half step behind.
Well, that's a throw you cannot make any better. It would have been a tough catch, and you can see Collins got his arm on his right bicep just before the ball was caught, and you got to understand that ball not being caught by Scott Wesley.
They'll go up the middle. That's Marshall. Well, it's reminiscent, isn't it, Gary, of that 98-yard touchdown pass last week, and that went to Reggie Davis, inserted in the lineup specifically to run that play.
There are a lot of scouts here. I talked to two of them before the game, both obviously watching the quarterbacks. That was a beautiful deep ball by Murray. Now he's going to get a Sam Will blitz. These two guys are coming. LSU took a timeout. I think John Chavis knew that the coverage was blown there, and he might have told Les to call timeout. It's an important third down play, and he didn't want to do it when the offense knew the defense.
Tim Brando in New York. Separation Saturday studios continue to roll. Jameis Winston, the freshman, 56 yards to Rashad Green, but they had not shown up in the first quarter at Chestnut Hill. Boston College was up 2 touchdowns. It's now 17-10 FSU. Back to Vern, Gary, and Tracy.
All right, thank you. Florida State averaging 51.5 points. They're going to have to get things going to equal that.
Well, let's see if John Chavis, the defensive coordinator for LSU, comes back and doubles up on the blitz. Remember, they were coming before the timeout. Let's see if he continues with the blitz or falls back in coverage.
3 wides right on 3rd and 6. He brings 4. Murray scrambles, throws it short. There's a flag.
Thrown by the umpire late. Probably holding inside.
I would think.
So it was a zone blitz look. They actually dropped the nose tackle that time. Anthony Johnson again.
Holding on the offense, number 64. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
That's Dallas Lee, whom we told you earlier was one of the 3 guys rooming together first semester of freshman year, the other 2 being Murray and Mettenberger.
Good coverage call that time. Good timeout by LSU. They knew that Murray knew the blitz coverage on the previous play. They came back with a different look, and it worked to force a punt and 3 and out.
Well, special teams been a problem for Georgia. They had a punt blocked for a touchdown last week. This one, Colin Barber takes a good snap, gets it away. The Gunners are downfield. Let it go by.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
Exactly, yeah. Well, they actually switched snappers in the middle of the game last week because of high snaps. If you missed last Monday's terrific new drama, Hostages, you can catch up tonight at 9, 8 Central. That's Hostages tonight. And a new episode Monday. Don't miss it.
Vern, let's follow up a little bit on these 2 defenses. As great as they were last year, I mean, they just lost wholesale bodies. Georgia only has 2 returning starters coming back to this team, Swan and Smith. They lost 9. 7 of those players on defense were drafted into the NFL.
Handoff, right side. Jeremy Hill back in the lineup. Well, let's take a look at a list of players drafted last year. LSU with 8 defensive players, Georgia with 7, and Florida State with 7.
And the harder part was a little bit for LSU. They had 11 underclassmen enter the draft. 8 of them were drafted, an NFL record.
2nd down, 7. Mettenberger. Oh, incomplete.
Good pressure that time. Forced an awkward throw by Mettenberger. Both defenses settling down just a bit now. Was it Leonard Floyd again, number 84?
It was.
Wow, he's having a good football game.
He is a freshman, one of 4 starting defensively, but he spent a year at Hargrave Military Academy.
Correct. He and Jordan Jenkins, the other outside linebacker, were recruited in the same class. They're bookends.
3rd and 7. Swan up to play bump and run. Corners lay back on the other side. Mettenberger hit and dropped from behind. Ray Drew, number 47.
Jennings said, he's coming on fast, and he's a beast.
That's his first sack of the year, and it's a big one. And so Jamie Keene is on to punt again for the Tigers, almost blocked. Damian Swan lets it go.
Yeah, it was touched further up. This ball's going to come about to the 25-yard line.
Actually, 27.
Yep, a little farther up.
Ray Drew is a licensed minister. That's what I'm preaching about. Mettenberger on the left. Aaron Murray started 6 at 6. And that brings us to the Aflac trivia question. Who was Georgia's starting quarterback in 2009 when both Mettenberger and Murray were freshmen? If you've been listening closely,
I'm going to be ticked if they haven't. If I do all this homework, I'm going to be ticked if they don't know the answer.
Gary,
if they don't know the answer, I'm overpaid. Now, a lot of people think that anyway.
We're just alluding to the fact that my partner inadvertently gave you the answer a while ago.
You and I and Craig and Steve Milton are going to have to start rooming together as we read the notes. Have to have study time.
Study hall, that's it. Oh, goodness. Todd Gurley's back in the lineup. Murray hands it to Gurley. Here he goes. Loston chasing him, number 6. Merritt Hall with the clearing block this time. On in place of Quavon Hicks. That's a gain of 23. Uh-oh.
McClain, wonder if he sprained his ankle coming at the end of that play. Bounces out smartly. Tough to bring down. Does his ankle get rolled up? That's the question.
Right there.
Right there at the end of it. His body falls on his weight of his ankle.
Oh, boy. First down 10 at midfield after the run, and Marshall is on in place of him. Merritt Hall, number 43, is the fullback. Murray play action. Incomplete. Justin Scott Wesley, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Ronald Martin did a good job reading that play. Let's watch it one more time. Very dangerous play for running backs, quarterbacks. From behind, the momentum of the tackler falls forward onto the leg.
Here's Marshall to the 40-yard line. Good second effort after the initial contact from Ronald Martin.
There's no doubt that Keith Marshall has talent to carry the load and make the big play. The doubt for the Georgia fans and the Georgia offensive play calling is, can he do it the whole game? He's never been the featured guy to have to take the multiple carries like Gurley has.
Aaron Murray in our chat with him yesterday said Todd Gurley is simply the best college football player in America. First down 10. That's Merritt Hall, and that's a whistle.
I think Mark Richt called timeout on that one.
By the snap, timeout.
That's the second used by Georgia. They have 2 left, or the first used by Georgia. LSU has used a couple, so they have 1 remaining. Another look, Gary, at this Gurley run, the end of it. There, look at that. Oh, boy. Loston rolled over.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer Bryan and I will get you caught up on all of the action, including Tennessee holds on against South Alabama. Ross Matheny picked off by Brian Randolph to preserve the 31-24 win. Now back to LSU, Georgia.
All right, Tim, thank you. It's 14-all. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, guys, you saw it. It was that left ankle. They took his shoe off. They looked at it. They taped it with a little black tape. And then he jogged into the locker room, which was pretty good news, except I was just told he is out for now.
All right, Trace, thank you. And jogging with a noticeable limp. Keith Marshall will carry the load if and when.
John Chavis doing his signature bear front, 3 linemen inside.
Marshall
defense he loves to go to when the other team is able to run the ball. And Georgia is the first team that's been able to run the ball in this game. They're now over 100 yards rushing. You look at the rushing game for LSU, nothing so far. When you factor in the sacks, they're, 4 yards rushing the whole game. So LSU has not been able to run it. First sense of a weakness in the game. So LSU can't stop the run.
Feed Marshall. And he goes over the left side. Micah Eugene, number 34, makes the stop. But they'll move the chains again.
Inside, following the big fullback Merritt Hall that time, second level before anybody even got a hand on him.
Pete Marshall out of Raleigh, North Carolina. They're going to come left with a toss. Merritt Hall gets a great block. And Marshall is pushed out of bounds with a 1st and goal, Georgia. Dallas Lee also helped clear the way.
Same play that Georgia has been running since Vince Dooley was coaching here. Block down, follow the fullback. It worked 25 years ago, and it works today. Or was it 35 years ago?
35, but that's all right. This is Brandon Douglas, who is a true freshman. His first run in a Georgia uniform was good for a 17-yard gain a couple of weeks ago. So he is the backup tailback right now, freshman out of Augusta, Georgia.
Georgia has tried to hurry the snap twice. Now, they caught LSU once with a penalty, but it seemed the other 2 times they really caught themselves. They weren't ready to block, and they hurried up and got nothing out of it. Now they're 3rd and long.
Look at that disparity in rushing yards.
Yeah.
So 134 to 4. Murray looks back. Marshall's back on the field. 3 wides, top of the screen on 3rd and goal. Murray into the end zone. Diving try. Incomplete. Justin Scott Wesley.
Did he start to slip before the ball got there on his break? Let's see if Scott Wesley stumbled out of his cut that time. Caught it out of the corner of my eye. I think he's right here is the guy that Bennett's going to come inside, and he did. He tripped over the legs that time of Ronald Martin. I thought that would have been a touchdown had he not stumbled over the legs of Martin.
That brings on Marshall Morgan, 1 of 2 for the year. Low snap, good hold. Kick is up. Adam Erickson was the holder, did a nice job. But take another look at that stumble. Good catch.
A perfect read again. Bennett comes inside, taken by the linebacker. You got an easy throw to the back line. Should have been a touchdown, but a little stumble cost you 4 points.
In New York, your game, fellas, is looking a lot like Clemson against Georgia. Here's Taj Boyd taking it in from 2 yards out on a 4th down play against Wake Forest. They look to be the beneficiary if the SEC cannibalizes itself. Back to you.
All right, Tim. 28-7 there, 17-14 here. As you look down on Sanford Stadium, constructed in 1929 and named for a former President and Chancellor, Dr. Stedman V. Sanford. It was his idea to construct the stadium. It was also his idea to install the hedges. Now, did you study all that last night?
No, I missed that one.
Okay.
I was stuck in traffic trying to see the LSU coaches come.
Gary gave one for the team last night. He wanted to talk personally to Cam Cameron.
Whoa, so, nice catch.
Yeah, it was.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to the sequence for Georgia.
You know, when you do this hurry up, Vern, you got to be good at it. Georgia tries to sneak it in here on 2nd down. You can see Aaron Murray. He sees the signal, hurries his team up, and tries to go quickly to snap the ball. But his offensive line and Merritt Hall, number 43, bust their blocks. Merritt Hall blocks nobody on the play, and they basically gave it down away. You know, live by the sword, die by the sword. Sometimes you trick them. That play, Georgia tricked themselves.
And so the Tigers have it back. That's Dixon, the tight end, number 41. And this is Hill, number 33. And again, that's the 11th rush. This is Josh Harvey Clemens who makes the tackle, and Hill got touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. Big play on the second possession was the interception by Anthony Johnson, the defensive nose tackle.
I can tell you that LSU and Les Miles is very surprised they're not successfully running the ball against Georgia. It's a team that's given up a lot of rushing yards to these high-level teams in the past 4 or 5 games. Alabama, Clemson, South Carolina. Today, they are standing tough.
Connor Neighbors is the fullback. Mettenberger drops straight back, has time, and a wide-open receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. Josh Clemens.
Well, first thing he got, a very clean pocket. Look at that room to step into the throw. Beckham just schooled Swain on the play. Beckham's basically an NFL receiver playing college ball. I mean, we saw him. I mean, his famous play with us was that 89-yard punt return that he had in that game against Ole Miss. Remember that in the 4th quarter?
I do indeed. Jarvis Landry and Beckham both on the bottom part of the screen. Dixon now comes to join them. They'll hand it off to Hill. And again, it's a modest game.
Yeah, but positive yards. They're starting to turn the corner in LSU's game plan right now. I mean, there was some talk by LSU Friday night that they would not be unhappy to run the ball 40 times in this game. They felt that if Georgia's safeties stayed deep, that they would challenge that offensive line to run the ball against that 7-man front for Georgia. Story of the game so far, great quarterback play, yes, but not being able to run the ball by LSU.
There's a defensive switch by Georgia before the snap.
Georgia very confused here. They're going to have trouble with this bunch. Swain has no idea what to do.
Out of the flat is Dixon. That one is caught, but it'll be short of the first down. Terrence McGee, number 14, and Leonard Floyd with the tackle.
Well, they've made some good plays inside. Leonard Floyd made a play. Toby Johnson made a good play inside. We even saw on the back end, Josh Harvey Clemens, I think it was, right? Made that play down by the goal line.
And there's a Georgia player down on the field with an injury. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
And that last play, Zach kind of misread that bunch pass. He had to the outside Travis Dixon wide open. He never looked to the outside of the field.
Well, medical staff out on the field. That's Toby Johnson, the injured player, number 88. There are 2 88s, a lot of duplicate numbers on both these teams. And the other 88 is the starting tight end, Arthur Lynch. Comes from the southern part of Atlanta, College Park. And there's the injury.
Yeah, it wasn't on a hit. He kind of raised his hand to knock the ball down and kind of hyperextended it.
3rd and 4. Hill and McGee are on either side of the quarterback, and LSU has used.
No, it was Georgia. He pointed the wrong way. Yep. He pointed to LSU, but it was the defensive staff for Georgia that made the call.
Georgia by 3 with 5:50 to go, and it's time now for our Facebook poll. Which undefeated team among this quintet is the most surprising? Let us know. Maryland, Minnesota, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, or Washington. Log on to Facebook at CBS. Don't you wonder? Third and 4. 5 wide. Stunts defensively. Mettenberger across the middle. Caught. First down. Odell Beckham Jr.
Well, we saw this firsthand when Zach Mettenberger basically turned his career around. That time he threw in traffic. He was getting rushed inside by Ray Drew that time. Alabama fans remember him making those third down throws courageously, just like that.
And that's a first down at the 34-yard line. Alfred Blue makes his first appearance in the ball game. They fake the ball to him. Mettenberger caught and dropped. Second sack of the first half. Chris Mays, number 93.
Vern, we talked about Aaron Murray's turning point a bit against Florida. This was the game that Zach Mettenberger won Les Miles over, he won his teammates over, and he won the LSU fan base over. After that day, everybody knew they had a quarterback.
Loss of 3 on that one, but you see his numbers. He's been sacked twice. Mettenberger has Neighbors at fullback. See what Georgia does here. They'll try and protect the middle, and Alfred Blue is caught and dropped after a moderate gain. 4:35 to go. Well, we've tried to document the journey that brought Zach Mettenberger back to this stadium in which he aspired to play as a youngster. After being dismissed here, he spent 1 year at Butler Community College in El Dorado, Kansas. And then went to LSU. Didn't play his first year at LSU much at all. Jordan Jefferson and Lee were the quarterbacks, but last year came into his own. That's incomplete, off the shoulder of Jeremy Hill. 4th and 7.
I wonder if they'll just go 4 downs here rather than punt. Ball a bit high, ball a bit quick. It'll be about a 48-yard field goal from here.
And Delahoussie's in his first year as the...
Or a 48-yard fake field goal from here.
Yes. We've seen that before, haven't we, from this bunch.
Didn't work last week when he tried to do it against Auburn, though.
Well, Delahoussie is on in place of the veteran kicker, Drew Alemont. I knew I'd get it into the broadcast somehow.
You got it.
Yeah, there
LSU took a timeout.
It was a little bit of a force, but nevertheless, LSU now has taken their last timeout. Well, there was a sad moment earlier this week for all Georgia fans and indeed the Bulldog football team. Paul Oliver, former cornerback here, committed suicide with a self-inflicted gunshot wound earlier in the week. Paul Oliver was 29 years of age, left a wife and 2 children, a mother and 2 brothers. Very tragic. He went on after he had some academic difficulties. You see the decal being worn by Georgia, and played with the San Diego Chargers for a couple of years. Paul Oliver, 29 years of age. They are going to bring on Delahoussie. Now, he's kicked 4 this year, but they have been from 23, 28, 23, and 25 yards. Now, Frugier, the holder, has an injured knee, so I don't think we're going to see him up on a fake. 48 yards. Snap is very good. The kick is on the way, and it is good.
How about that? To watch Les with his patented hand clap, and we have a tie game. A good football game. Both defenses have adjusted a little bit. Quarterbacks are still playing, and the coaches got them right where they want them.
We're 4.5 minutes away at playing time to going back to New York for the Geico halftime report. Tim, Spencer, and Bryant will have scores and highlights from around the country. This a little bit more of a competitive weekend in college football than, say,
Sure was.
last week.
A little embarrassment last week with all those big scores. Elvis is in the house.
Yeah.
The most important thing is Todd Gurley in the house, and is he coming back here on the field to play these last 3 or 4 minutes, or will they hold him to the second half, or will he even be able to play at all?
Well, he is back and still limping.
Doesn't look like he's going to play. And you could always see already the ramifications. Brendan Douglas is carrying the ball instead of Keith Marshall in that situation as a sub.
James Hairston will kick off. Reggie Davis again, the deep back. Davis moves over. He's 3 yards into the end zone. He will bring it out. He's got blazing speed if he gets open, but he does not, and does not get back to the 20. Well, Gurley gingerly favoring that ankle.
Yeah. He's got 92 yards of rushing there, 10 yards of carry in this game. Interesting,
Marshall.
excuse me, I'm sorry, Marshall in the game.
Yeah.
Interesting play calling here from Mark Rick and Mike Bobo. Do they throw a lot, try to get points on the board? Do they run out the clock? Remember, LSU gets it to start the second half. Conservatively.
Marshall, yes. And it is time for the answer to the Affleck trivia question. Who was Georgia's starting quarterback in 2009 when both Mettenberger and Murray were freshmen? And the answer is Joe Cox. I heard his name mentioned in the broadcast earlier.
My bad. Guess I should pay attention in graphics, right? Oh, fumbled the snap.
Oh, my goodness.
LSU has no timeouts now. Remember that. So now 3rd and long. See what Georgia does. Doesn't look like they're going to get out of the half.
Oh, boy.
Good snap.
And it was almost kicked away from
Yes,
Murray.
it was. Murray just took his eyes off of it, trying to read the defensive end on the give play.
Georgia yet to convert on 3rd down. They've got a 3rd and 7 here. 2:43 to go. 4 wides. 2 on either side.
Big play here for Aaron Murray.
4-man rush for LSU. Murray dances out to the right, pulls up. He's got the first down at the 30-yard line. The catch made by Chris Conley.
And that's one of those across-the-grain throws that if you make it work, you're a hero. If you don't, everybody in this crowd is saying, why didn't he just run it, take it, and punt it? It takes some guts to play quarterback sometimes because you know the ramifications of a mistake right there. Big play by Murray out of the pocket.
Conley with his 2nd catch. Now 1st down and 10.
You've heard it a million times, right, Vern? Don't go to the right and throw left. He just did it.
Yes, indeed. Moderate play action. He goes deep left side. Man is open. It's Conley again. Chris Conley, born in Turkey, raised for the most part in Southern California.
Matched up with Jalen Collins on the bottom of the screen, number 32. Back shoulder throw that time. Perfect throw.
Chris Conley's dad was a 20-year Air Force vet. And I must say, we spent time with Chris Conley yesterday. He is about as impressive a college football player as any of us have come across. Mature, wonderful young man.
Got him.
Oh, boy, does he ever. A 20-year Air Force vet. And I must say, we spent time with Chris Conley yesterday. He is about as impressive a college football player as any of us have come across. Mature, wonderful young man.
Got him.
Oh, boy, does he ever. Reggie Davis.
Really don't know what was happening here. Corner takes the short man, gives up the outside receiver way too quick that time, and Reggie Davis gets a gift. Nice read by Aaron Murray, but that time Ronald Martin just, did not play it well. You got to stay deep and come up on the short pass.
That was a gain of 24, 94 seconds to go in the first half. They'll give it to Marshall. He darts through a couple of potential tacklers.
What a drive here. Remember, after the dropped snap on 3rd down, Aaron Murray comes out of the pocket, makes against the grain throw for a 1st down, and that's what gives him life to get this last scoring drive of the half.
2nd and 5. Fake into the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Justin Scott Wesley. That end zone crowd thought a flag should have been thrown. That was Corey Thompson, number 12.
I just thought that Wesley misjudged the ball. Does he stop? No, the ball was behind him. You're right. The ball was poorly thrown. If that ball would have been in front of him, it would have been a touchdown. Yes, at the end of it, Corey Thompson interfered. Combination of a bad throw and, you know, the officials are letting the defensive backs be very physical in this game.
Yeah.
Message has been sent.
3rd down, 6. 3 to the left. Blitz. Murray into the end zone. Incomplete. This time there is a flag.
Have Jalen Mills that time. Basically the same play. Nobody deep in that end of the field, and not going to get wave 2 of them that time.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 28. By roll, the ball will be spotted at the 2-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
Very easy call. Could have been back-to-back. Mills drapes his hands right across the receiver that time. Scott Wesley, and it's easy call.
Yes.
See, LSU has no timeouts. They were confused at the line of scrimmage. No safety back in the end zone. Man-to-man everywhere. Georgia just dialed an easy play. It was almost, you know, Aaron Murray had a no-brainer throw to the outside.
Ball spotted at the 2. Keep in mind, Todd Gurley is on the bench with an injury. Marshall is the running back. 3 wide to the left, including Rhett McGowan.
Remember, Georgia has a timeout. They can run the ball.
And they do. Marshall. The line surges forward. Did he get across? He apparently did not.
Plenty of time. They can keep that in their pocket and run one more quick play.
If they can get off
they can,
the ground.
And if they do that quickly, they still have a run-pass option here.
26 seconds to go. Murray, quarterback sneak. Touchdown, Georgia. Heck of a drive.
See, if they use the timeout there, they can't really run the ball again. It's too dangerous. The half could end. But by getting up there quickly and running it, they had the run-pass option. Beautiful drive by Murray in Georgia. Big John Theus did a nice job, number 71 that time.
John Theus, Marshall Morgan on for the extra point. 9 plays, 82 yards, 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Aaron Murray with a quarterback sneak between center and right guard.
A lot of stuff happened on that drive, Vern. Remember, at this point, Mark Richt wasn't sure he was going to turn Murray loose. It was 2nd down. They were going to run the draw again. Murray drops the ball, gets it. Now it's 3rd down. Gets flushed out of the pocket, makes a dangerous across-the-field throw. Completes it. Now it's full goal. Gets it down in the scoring zone. Gets a penalty. Probably could have been back-to-back penalties. And then smartly save their timeout so they can run the ball back-to-back for the touchdown.
And that was all set up again in part by a defensive lapse by LSU and Reggie Davis, the true freshman, getting loose for... I'm watching this, Gary, and old memories come back.
You're not doing what you did.
No. We got caught dancing the soldier boy. We learned. No Sean Marino led that one.
I believe we didn't get caught. We teed it up.
No, that's right. You're right. Oh, goodness.
Georgia had too many men on the field right here, so they finally got one off. Remember what we said early after LSU scored, then made it 14-7? Georgia's been known to score a lot of points around here.
Yeah.
12 out of the last 14 games, or 10 out of the last 12 games, they've scored over 40 points at home.
No timeouts remaining for the Tigers. 24-17. Odell Beckham Jr. has a chance to bring it back. Oh, that close to breaking a huge one. Only CBS has the #1 new show on television. See why 15 million viewers are laughing with Robin Williams and the Crazy Ones Thursday at 9/8 Central on America's most watched network. .417. That last 82-yard drive, critical. Let's go down to Tracy with Les Miles.
Thanks a lot. Certainly, Coach, not the way you wanted to go into half. What can you say about the breakdown there by your defense?
Well, we got to tackle those backs. They're really catching us a little bit in tempo. They're catching us not ready. We got to make sure that we get our calls in quickly and get ready to play. If we do that, we'll tackle well.
How about your backs? Just 15 rushing yards in this first half. How do you get that corrected, and how important is it?
Well, very important. Now, I think there's some adjustments that we need to make at halftime, certainly, and we'll come out and see if we can rush the ball a little better in the second half.
Thanks a lot. Vern?
All right, Tracy, thank you. That's the end of the first half. Our score 24-17. Georgia. Now let's go to Tim Brando in our New York studio.
Yes, adjustments. Thank you, Vern. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report.
Mettenberger across the middle. Got a man. 48-yard touchdown.
I'm over the middle. It is intercepted. Touchdown. That's Boone again. Murray's pass is caught by Bennett, falling down. Touchdown.
Got a man open. Chris Conley. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And so we're getting set for the third quarter. 24-17. Moments ago, Tracy, with Coach Mark Richt.
Coach, can you give us an update on Todd Gurley and his status?
He sprained his ankle. I don't know how bad it is. I'm not sure he can go. We'll just have to see.
What about this last drive? Very impressive going into the half. How do you keep that momentum going into these last 30 minutes?
Well, hopefully you start out playing good defense and giving us good field position and, getting us in a position where we can keep the momentum offensively as well. But, they're a championship team over there. They've won SECs and national championships in the last little bit, so they're probably inciting a riot over there in their locker room, so we better get ready.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Well, these two teams have met 3 different times in the SEC championship game in Atlanta most recently.
Yeah, I think Mark's a good poker player because Gurley's going to have a tough time playing without pads.
Yeah, you're right. Well, he'll provide a little enthusiasm for his teammates. Remember, LSU won the toss and deferred, so they do get the ball to start the third quarter. Marshall Morgan kicks it off. And Beckham thought about it and then decided to pull up 2 yards short, so it'll be a touchback. Thoughts on the first half?
13 yards rushing for LSU. Come on, not going to do it. I mean, they need to help Zach a lot more than that at quarterback. We talked about that this game, both coaches believe this league is won by winning the line of scrimmage. Georgia has won the line of scrimmage with their defense and their offensive lines. They play better football.
Defense?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think LSU's shocked. You know, usually we have a lot of shots of J.C. Copeland, the fullback, hitting guys. We haven't had one play like that in this football game.
Well, they do line up in the I to start the second half. And Copeland is the fullback. Mettenberger goes deep left side. Nice defensive play out there. Wow. That's the freshman, Brandon Langley.
Timed it out right, and that was, that time, a perfect play to the outside, and that's how you play defense.
Langley, one of 3 true freshmen starting defensively from suburban Atlanta, the city of Marietta, Georgia. See the stats on Mettenberger, 10 of 16.
I mean, it's going to be tough. Zach Mettenberger, is it going to be up to him to do the whole game on his back?
They will run the draw this time. Up the middle, big hole, and Hill gallops for 11 yards and a first down. Let's take a look, Gary, at first half trends.
Well, you know, there's been a little bit of pressure on Zach Mettenberger. He's done some nice plays. Aaron Murray had that great last drive to finish off the first half. The rushing game has been the story. Gurley been able to run the ball. Georgia being able to run the ball, and as I said, 13 yards. And I mean, when you factor that, if you're LSU, Vern, the tapes that LSU watched was the Alabama game last year, the SEC. Alabama rushed for 350. Nebraska in the bowl game, 204. Clemson to open, 197. And South Carolina losing, rushed for 226. 13 yards. That's not going to get it.
Inside linebacker Marlo Herrera is the injured Georgia player. And we'll be back in a moment.
In the Outback, wait until you.
Early moments, third quarter. The injured player was Marlo Herrera, the inside backer. He was assisted to his feet, but walked off unaided. And in his place, a true freshman, Reggie Carter, number 45, defensively. First down, 10. And again, the I formation with Hill the deep back behind J.C. Copeland. That's Landry who starts in motion. Play action. Good blocking up front. And the crossing pattern from Landry. Spins and is tackled. Reggie Carter made the tackle.
Play action pass. They started with a play action pass to throw the hook route, and that time they tried to get Landry in the game. He's been very quiet in the game so far.
They'll go to Hill again, and again he is stopped. Well, this is Chris Mays, number 93.
And it's not like Cam Cameron and Les aren't attempting to run the football. I mean, if you look at the play selection, I mean, you can see it. LSU, 17 run, 17 pass. They're just not getting it blocked. You have to give Georgia credit for that.
Well, defensive coordinator Todd Grantham chatting with us yesterday talked about last year they had 29 scholarship players on defense, and then so many of them were drafted and went early to the NFL. 3rd and 1. Option, pitch, Hill, first down plus. He's across the 40 before he's knocked out of bounds with an LSU first down.
And that time, Zach Mettenberger did what you have to do. Just draw that defensive end. You know they didn't want Mettenberger running it. Just pitch it out there and follow number 44. Can LSU get big J.C. Copeland involved in the football game? If they do, that means they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit and then slide him out in the flat and throw it to him.
Georgia showing blitz. There's the change from Mettenberger. They feed Hill. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and is inside the 35-yard line. Eight true freshmen on the 2 deep, and 12 players made their first career start. Both of these squads have relied on the freshman class. LSU has played 14 so far, Georgia 13. Second down and 5. Terrence McGee is the running back now. Well, he did a good job of getting a couple of additional yards.
You know, We start out on camera, and you asked me a question. I had my 13 all teed up. You think Les mentioned that at halftime in the locker room?
Perhaps.
I think so, too.
Perhaps. Especially after Tracy reminded him of it as he was going in. Well, thank you. I've got a talking point. Again, it's 3rd and 1.
And this will be definite 2 downs if they don't get it here. They're going to... Les is trying to call timeout. Boy, it's one thing burning timeouts in the first half. It's another thing burning them in the second half. I mean, 3rd and 1, and you can't get lined up right. Big mistake by the Tigers.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Ram Trucks. The LG G2. John Hancock. And by Coke Zero. At the moment, the score 24-17, 3rd quarter, 11:51. Gary, let's see if we can determine why they call timeout.
The only thing it's just conjecture here. Les was calling timeout before the tight end or flanker went in motion. He might have thought that his tackle was not on the line of scrimmage, and maybe he had an illegal formation. That's all I can think of, and he didn't want to have a pre-snap penalty.
I don't know what significance it might have, but Mettenberger reached up and tapped Vidal Alexander.
I don't know if they got it either.
That's J.C. Copeland.
It's very close. Looks like he did, but it was a nice stand by Georgia. Chris Mays was in there, number 93. If he got it, he didn't get it by much, did he?
No, not at all.
It was Mays that actually got it. He got the first down, but it was close. Does it, and also just something that popped up. It seems like LSU is throwing left the whole game.
Interesting.
Dumping it left. I wonder, they have both receivers right now, but let's see if they do something. It's been a left-handed passing game.
They'll give it off. McGee, or Alfred Blue, beg your pardon. Number 4, not 14. It is 14. 1-4, not 4. And Copeland is down. Holding his left knee.
If there's one number you heard all day at practice Thursday, was Todd Grantham saying, who's going to take on 44? Who's going to be a big enough man to take him on? Looked like he got kicked from behind, didn't he?
Yeah.
Leonard Floyd was coming up to make the play. It looked like he kicked him in the back of the knee.
Time call. Well, let's revisit the injury to J.C. Copeland, Gary.
Yeah, there he is in the circle highlight right there. Let's see if we can figure it out again. I don't know if he got kicked from behind or if he just, the pressure of the block, the knee gave way. He gets up and then he just falls right back down on the ground when he starts to walk. See him? Keep your eye on him.
It looked like Leonard Floyd, number 84,
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Looked like he was Floyd. 2nd down 6. This is the 10th play of the opening drive of the second half. Connor Neighbors, number 43, is the fullback.
42 yards of the 50 yards have been on the ground.
Interesting. Well, 13 yards on the ground at the half. And on this drive, been very effective.
Hey, we have one. They looked. It was a I formation draw play, and then remember the option play on short yardage. Just enough to keep the Georgia defense a little bit off balance. McGee with the last one.
3rd and 2.
LSU's done a good job on 3rd down. 6 for 9.
Alfred Blue is split wide right.
I just don't think that Georgia's lined up right again. This
Deep and overthrown. 4th and 2.
I mean, Swain again is porting like, where's my safety to start the play? Watch Swain over here. He's going, where's a guy back here? He's pointing. On the other side of the field, you see Langley say, what's going on? Definitely a busted coverage, and they got away from it. Got away with it, excuse me.
That brings on Delahousie, who had a long one earlier in this ball game. Seth Fruget is the holder, and Reed Ferguson will snap at this from 39. He made one from 49, by far the longest of his career. This one looks good. It's hooking, but it hooks after it goes through the uprights.
Well, that was a successful drive for LSU because they showed they could run the ball. Yes, Georgia got to stop, but for Les Miles, he said, I got to give my quarterback some help. Aaron Murray, your ball.
Mark Rick telling me that Todd Gurley is out for now with that left ankle sprain. Well, he's out here on the sidelines, though, in a boot with no pads. So it does not look like he is returning anytime soon, but it does seem it is just a precautionary measure. He is out here, he is laughing, and he's telling his teammates, I am fine, I am fine. Let's hope that's the case, guys.
All right, Trace, thank you. Well, it was an effective drive for the LSU Tigers to open. They had to settle for 3 instead of 7, but nevertheless, Reggie Davis is back to return James Hairston's kickoff if he is given the opportunity. Davis, this will be returnable from the 1-yard line. And he's out to the 21. Now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athlete. We've chosen Chris Connolly, the wide receiver from Georgia, the GPA of 3.27. He is the SEC representative for the NCAA Student Athlete Advisory Committee. And Gary, you and Tracy and I and Greg Silver and Steve Milton, our director, got to spend, I don't know, 25 minutes with him. Right. What an impressive young man.
Yeah, and just as importantly, he was the guy that recruited Gurley and Marshall.
That's right. Yeah, he hosted them on their recruiting visit. He, in turn, when he was a senior at Dallas, Georgia, was hosted by A.J. Green. Looks like they look for the best to host the best. Yep. Well, of course, when you see Chris Connolly and you're a Georgia fan, you think about this one.
Yep, the one maybe he shouldn't have caught.
Yeah, just instinct.
Yep.
That turned out to be the final play of the game. The wonderfully conceived comeback drive for the go-ahead. They had Malcolm Mitchell in the end zone. Mitchell is out for the year, by the way, with a torn ACL, separated while celebrating a teammate, Todd Gurley's touchdown run. Here's Murray. Right side. That was Keith Marshall, number 4. And Micah Eugene, second of the Eugene brothers, who has played. Jai Eugene played for Les Miles a couple of years back. 3rd and 9.
You know, I mean, it's just part of college football, the great players going on to the NFL, but it's hard to watch LSU without thinking about Bingo and those guys coming in and pressuring the quarterback. Sam Montgomery, no pressure on Murray in this game.
Deep left side, over the shoulder catch. Chris Conley, how about stepping up and timing? How about that?
Tre'Davious White, number 16, the true freshman, has good coverage on him. Conley shields him exactly the way you're taught. When that ball is in the air, you're supposed to slide your rear end right in front of the defender and keep him on your back, and he did it.
They go deep right side this time, and it's over Bennett's head. Pretty good coverage on that play. Now let's go back to the studio for a Liberty Mutual update. Here's Tim.
Vern, you had said earlier Florida State's been in the 50s. Well, hold on, because they're getting there. Jameis Winston to Rashad Green, second hookup between those two. 4 overall for Winston. They've added another touchdown to make it 38-20 in the third at Chestnut Hill. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. It's second down and 10 here. Toss coming left, follow the fullback. Marshall inside the 40. Quavon Hicks with one of the key blocks. It's a gain of 7.
Coming right out to the outside that time, following that fullback again. Was it Hall, Merritt Hall, number 43 again?
Hicks this time.
Excuse me, was it Hicks? Quavon Hicks, 48. Boy, good fullback play. If you're going to run the ball from the I formation, you got to have a fullback. Both teams do.
It's kind of old-fashioned football, isn't it?
Sure is.
Third down 3. And they're in the I again. 2 wides. There's the handoff to Marshall. He's not going to get there.
Big call here now for Mark Rick.
Anthony Johnson. Yes, excuse me.
Over a 50-yard field goal. Or will they go for it? Will they punt? Get close to what, 55-yard field goal attempt here.
Wow. Well, the career long for Marshall Morgan is 52.
And look who's back there, the field goal returner.
He's listed on the depth chart is Odell Beckham as missed field goal return specialist because he had one of 100 yards earlier. Here's the kick. That's got plenty. Holy cow.
My goodness.
A career long for Marshall Morgan.
My goodness. I made that thing by 10 yards. Woo.
Check for helium.
Check for helium. Odell Beckham said, I don't have a chance on this one.
My gracious. Ha. Oh, boy. Suspended for violation of team rules for the first 2 games. Came in 1 of 2. His career long was 52. 55 yards. And over again later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. This is how we started the half. Georgia up by 7. You know, I'm just reminded looking around, Gary, that Mark Rick did call for the fans to all wear red here.
They listened.
They did.
Yeah.
My gracious. Except for the purple and gold folks. Odell Beckham Jr. He'll return it. Comes right. And has to hurdle a defender to get out of bounds. Tune in for college, pro, and fantasy coverage from the fans' perspective. Take back your Sundays with that other pregame show. Tomorrow morning, starting at 9 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. J.C. Copeland, you noted that he was back on the field goal attempt, and he is back on the field at fullback now.
Well, LSU proved they could run the ball last series. Let's see if they're going to try to get Beckham and Landry and Boone back in this football game.
Kenny Hilliard is making his first appearance, number 27. So we've seen each of the quartet. Hilliard is the last to make an appearance. They do use all 4, though the featured back now is Hill. And just an interesting footnote, at some point in their career, Hill, Blue, McGee, and Hilliard has each run over 100 yards in a game. 2nd and 7. There you go. Landry on the crossing route. He's wide open. Still,
yep.
Yeah, all the way out to the 50-yard line.
Ran the formation into the sideline and then just cross underneath one of those undercuts off play-action pass. Get the ball to your playmakers. You're up against linebackers. You know, when you have one of those big linebackers chasing that time, Jenkins, not a chance.
Here's Hilliard on the first down carry. Sterling Bailey with the tackle that time. 2nd and 9. Quick hitch out to the right. Good block. What a block that freed him up. That was Odell Beckham Jr. who cleaned out the cornerback.
We were talking to the coaches. There's one thing when I said, Cam, how do you distribute the ball to your different playmakers? He said, well, the first thing, to get the ball on a Les Miles team, you better be willing to block when you don't have the ball. If you don't block, you're not getting the ball.
No, that was a perfect example. Beckham with a terrific effort. 1st and 10. Just inside the 40. Hilliard remains the running back. Mettenberger going deep down the middle. It's incomplete. Almost caught by Cadron Boone, who's got 2 touchdown receptions today. And then Trey Matthews, a true freshman safety. He's been nicknamed already by his teammates Trigger Trey.
Yeah, it was a great throw, great defense. You know, he didn't get a free shot on him. It wasn't a defenseless player. I think he went through the ball. He wasn't trying to lay him out. Good play by everybody.
Georgia mixed up defensively now. Have to scurry to get everybody set. Herrera is looking back. There's a little screen underneath the hill. And there was some confusion defensively. Garrison Smith finally made the tackle.
Yeah, it was a good read by Smith. If he would not have read that screen play, Hill would have got a head of steam and really turned it up. He forced Hill to cut back and allowed his other teammates to make the play.
3rd down and 3.
Gotta believe LSU is thinking 4 downs right here. Oh, boy.
Now it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
False start on the offense. Number 78, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's Vidal Alexander, left guard.
The Georgia defense again was threatening blitz, and you can see out of the peripheral vision, Vidal saw that and said he had just moved a little bit too much. Nobody's covering the guy up to the top of the screen.
That's amazing. Mettenberger goes down the middle, perfect. Landry slips the tackle, touchdown.
Georgia again discombobulated on defense. I don't think they had any idea what defense they were running on that play. You see them even after the play talking to each other.
Delahousie on to tie this one up with 3:40 to go, 3rd quarter.
What a throw. Just as good as the throw that was broken up before.
We're notched at 27.
Well, we gave Trey Clemens the credit for defending the play before. He's back here. This is Josh Harvey Clemens right here, right in between them. But there was such a mix-up to the other side of the field, and I don't know if Georgia knew exactly what they were doing on the play.
Well, let's take a look from behind Zach Mettenberger.
He can throw the ball, can he? A 35-yard dart right down the middle of the Landry. We wondered, would LSU figure out a way to get Beckham and Landry in the game? They did.
You know, chatting with Cam Cameron yesterday, who, as we said, was most recently offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. He said when he was with Baltimore, their chief scout, Joe Horitz, knew about Mettenberger coming out of Oconee High School. So Cameron said, I've known about this kid since he was competing here at Georgia and before he began the long journey. Here's Cameron. He was a member of Les Miles' wedding.
Yep, that's Cam sipping the water in the middle right there. There he is with picture back with Les as assistant coaches on the Michigan coaching staff.
Well, the guy in the middle, of course, is the late Bo Schembechler. And the guy on the right side is Lloyd Carr, head coach for a number of years at Indiana, head coach in the NFL, 1 year at Miami.
You know, I mean, just think about that throw. That was 3rd and 9. And LSU is now 7 out of 11 in third down conversions. Very reminiscent of the performance that Zach put on against Alabama.
Tied at 27, 3:40 to go in the third. Reggie Davis. No. Now let's go to the studio for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan. Once again, here's Tim.
Vern Taj Boyd and company. The Tigers giving it to Wake Forest today in a large way. Well, he's just been outstanding in the air so far. 56-7 as they roll with 4 touchdown passes. And tonight, A.J. McCarron will be taking on Ole Miss while Johnny Manziel gets to take his Aggies on the road to Arkansas. First time they've played since 1990 at Arkansas. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. 27 all here. Ball on the 25. Marshall is the running back. Not much. Lamine Barrow makes the stop. Mentioned he is the honoree wearing number 18 each year. Since Matt Mock wore 18, they select a player, coaches and previous winners, to wear that number. Become quite an honor in the LSU football program. 3:10 to go. Here's Murray. Nope. Broken up. Well, we mentioned it started with Matt Mock back in 2003. Then the number was worn by Jacob Hester. He handed off to Richard Dixon, Murphy, Taylor, Benny Logan, and this year it's Lamine Barrow. Considered an honor if you are an LSU football player.
When will the LSU front four make a play? Or will John Chavis and LSU continue to have to blitz to get pressure on Aaron Murray?
3rd and 7 here. In contrast to LSU, Georgia not all that effective on third downs, and they are not effective on this one.
That has not been called all day, and it wasn't called there.
Jalen Mills this time doing the defending. Oh, goodness.
They're hitting him, but they're not calling it. You're just going to have to go through it.
Well, come on.
That has not been called all game. We're not saying it's not shouldn't be called, but it hasn't been called.
Went to Sanford Stadium and a wrestling match broke out. 4th and 7. Well, that's 2 or 3 examples of what might have been called.
Mettenberger had one. LSU had one early. Both sides.
Ball's loose.
Good, and Georgia's got it.
Indeed.
I think it was Connor Norman that ended up with the ball. Well, your surest player on the field misses it and hits his face mask. Opportunity to get the football there, but didn't come up with it, and Beckham misses it, and Connor Norman grabs it.
Did you see who hit him? 69, Trent Fricks, the snapper.
But he missed it before that, though, right?
Well,
I mean,
true, yeah.
he dropped that ball freely. It wasn't on the hit. He muffed the punt.
And so, at the 20, Aaron Murray and the Bulldogs, 2:47 to go. Third quarter, draw play Marshall. No. That's Daniil Hunter, number 94.
Vern.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah, a little bit of karma there, as you were saying it should have been pass interference on the play. So.
I didn't. I would assert myself that way.
I'm not saying you weren't right. It's just that pitch has not been called a strike all day.
There you go. Here's the handoff coming left. Marshall. And Lamine Barrow makes the stop.
Following the two big guys inside, Lee. And Barrow comes across, sorts it out, makes the play. This trips formation has been giving LSU trouble all day. Will they get pressure? Will they blitz?
Well, they've got 4 down defensively. It's another 3rd down, 3rd and 6. And are you kidding? Did LSU call time, or was it Georgia?
False start on the offense. Number 86, 5-yard penalty.
Whoa.
Remains 3rd down.
Now 3rd and long here. This is where John Chavis' MO is. He likes to do the zone blitz and force the ball to come out and drop his defensive lineman. Nobody does.
Nope. Murray wide open. Michael Bennett, Georgia touchdown. That looked like a blown coverage.
I'm tired of saying it. Vern, LSU has the most defensive backs in the NFL. They could use a few. That's about as easy as you can do it.
Marshall Morgan for the extra point. Bulldogs back on top.
The trips formation have been giving them problems all day. And it was again. Bennett in the slot. Nobody covers him. What are you doing, Mika Eugene? He just lets him run right by him.
Well, this sea of red has sent waves lapping over the stadium. And let's take another look at the touchdown. First of all, the muffed punt.
Hits him right in the face mask for Beckham. Muffs it. They get it back. And then after an illegal motion penalty, you see this little bit of confusion between these two guys. The free safety doesn't know who to take. DJ Welter, Eugene, Alphonse Gaston.
I like that.
Right?
Yes. I concur. Beckham again. Yard in. You better not let him loose. And let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update.
Everybody's talking about the Pac-12, and why not? But are they talking about Oregon State, fellas? Sean Mannion to Connor Hamlet, 11 yards, a school record 6 touchdowns for the Oregon State quarterback. He's 21 on the season with only 2 INTs. Don't look now, but they'll be solely ahead in the Pac-12 North, and that's some pretty stiff competition in what many people believe is the second-best conference in America. Back to Vernon Garrett.
All right, Tim, who would be number 1 in your mind? I wonder. First down at the 30. Play clock down to 3. Just do beat it. Hill between left guard and left tackle. Well, we started the day talking about these two one-time roommates. And for the day now, 15 of 23 for 230 for Mettenberger, 14 of 25. Each has thrown for 3 touchdowns.
You know what I want to say? Pretty good recruiting by Georgia a few years ago, right?
That's right.
Having both those guys.
Second down, 5.
You know, we said in the open, Vern, it's going to come down to the 4th quarter with the quarterbacks, and it sure is, isn't it?
Hill breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage and crosses the 40. Sterling Bailey is the fellow who missed the tackle, number 58.
Bounces this one way outside. Play was designed to go between the guards, I believe, and he bounced it all the way out left side. That's really what that I formation gives you, the deep tailback play. Bo Schembechler would love that one from Les and Cam, wouldn't he?
Wouldn't he? Mettenberger right side. Beckham. Swan brings him down from behind. Number 5, Damian Swan. 17 yards on that one.
As the trips formation has really helped Georgia, the stacked twin formation where both Landry and Beckham are together has given the Georgia defense problems.
No, that'll be the end of 3. 34-27. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll return to Athens right after this word from your local station. We're back at one of the best scenes in all of college football. Stadium on a Saturday afternoon. We begin the fourth. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson with you. We had hoped for a close encounter. Guess what? We got one.
Yep. Just about everybody called this high scoring. Offenses are better than the defenses, and it's been just about what everybody thought.
Yeah. And so it comes down to the fourth quarter. First down and 10, LSU. Neighbors is the fullback. Hill is the I-back. Hill going right. Turns the corner. And is stopped. You know, it just strikes me, who has the ball last?
It might be. And I think the loss, obviously, of Todd Gurley has been huge. Georgia only ran the ball for 15 yards in that third quarter, and LSU had it for over 60 yards on the ground. I think that's a big storyline in this game. Each team has had a turnover, and it cost them 7 points.
And here is LSU running the ball.
Yeah, there was one of those bubble screens out there.
Landry, that's right.
Basically a run.
What happens when you get your head turned?
No, I mean, you might as well count those as runs. Very close to a measurement. You know, Vern, you may be right. I mean, you're looking at this, it just appears that Mettenberger and Murray they're not going to crack. It doesn't appear to me. So now it's almost like holding serve now. Which one of the two defenses could break serve and win this game? Because they look totally overmatched, don't they?
Yes.
Both defenses, they can't find the receivers. They really, right now, Georgia can't get a pass rush. It's all the talent's on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, about 12 links of the chain.
Love the patience that Cam Cameron has used calling plays. He understands he can throw the ball and he has mismatches, but he realized he has to run it just enough. And, you know, they've taken that 13 yards running up to almost 80 yards running. That has been a big difference in how the play calling has worked for LSU.
Well, Gary noted a moment ago in the third quarter how effective LSU has been on third downs. 7 of 11 converted thus far. Give it to the fullback. He's got the first.
Yeah, they stopped the play.
Oh, did they?
Yep. Zach is going, really?
Position, there's no play, third down.
Zach has put his hands on his head and go, you know how hard it is to make third and short? We had it made. And they blew the whistle. Everybody was ready but the clock guy, I guess.
I guess. So it remains 3rd and 1.
Well, they did not feel the ball was spotted properly, so they're going to redo it from the mark on the chain so they get it in the same exact spot. He must have remembered how many links was short.
Better man than I am.
Yeah, or he's faking it. Have you noticed less in all the...
14-25. 14-25 on the Gamecock lead.
Every time he's talking, he's covering his mouth. So was Zach Mettenberger. I mean, they must have been tipped off that, you know, people are stealing calls here.
Neighbors is the fullback. Jeremy Hill, the tailback. Read option. Hill. Oh, he is scissored, but I think he got 13 links and he needed 12.
Same play that was so successful before. See, no one forced the pitch that time, so there was no room to cut back. Jordan Jenkins was not eliminated on the end line on a scrimmage, but still a first down. This is this tight twin formation that has given Georgia a little trouble.
Beckham and Landry. That's Dixon, the tight end. McGee is the running back now. Play action. Mettenberger, again, no pass rush. And again, a man wide open. Did he control the ball? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Great play by the safety coming across that time. I think it was Harvey Clemens. Ball was put in the right spot. Harvey Clemens comes right into the midsection. Doesn't cheap shot him. Good defense.
And a 2nd down and 10. Mentioned at the opening of the afternoon telecast, LSU has won 7 and lost 6 in Sanford Stadium. One of the few teams.
He's coming. Oh, he's
dropped back. Mettenberger.
He thought he was too. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Jordan Jenkins had one, didn't he?
Yes.
He roomed with Jarvis Jones. He tweets Jarvis Jones. And Jarvis Jones would have made that. That's the text he's going to get tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll hear from Jarvis Jones. 3rd and 10.
That would have been the stop, the one defensive stop to make a play.
Both receivers near side. 3-man rush. Mettenberger deep in the middle.
Wow, what a play.
Wow, Jarvis Landry. Now the helmet came off. Does he have to leave for one play?
It depends if the defender knocked it off. But even if he does, it's worth it. Ball again put in a perfect position. You can't throw it any better. Cam Cameron calls it throwing the receiver open. That's exactly what happened.
That's a 25-yard gain and a 1st and goal. Kenny Hilliard is back in. What a beautiful play. Hilliard to the 2, maybe the 1. Hilliard still the tailback. J.C. Copeland is the fullback on 2nd down. This is the 11th play of the drive. Follow the fullback for a touchdown for LSU. Kenny Hilliard strolls in untouched and celebrates with his teammate J.C. Copeland.
How about that 3rd down throw? That catch, great execution. Elite quarterback play. plenty of athletes. LSU holds serve.
Plays 70 yards, 416. And Delahousie's extra point ties it up 34-34. That third down play is worth another look. That was a brilliant throw.
Yeah, actually Todd Grantham that time had a trick defense on. Zach thought it was too deep, but it's a shift this way. He throws the ball into between 3 Georgia defenders. Watch the shift to the middle of the field. He has the defense on that he wants, but he throws a perfect ball.
We will return to Sanford Stadium with Djokovic and Nadal right after this.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Fasten your seatbelt, cinch it tight. Here we go. Murray, Michael Bennett, that's the first touchdown, 7-0. Mettenberger came back, a 48-yard toss to Cadron Boone. Behind Damian Swan, 7-7. There was an interception that set up the second LSU touchdown, 4-yarder to Boone. And then Conley's 25-yard touchdown reception from Aaron Murray tied it up 14-14. Key play in the game. Todd Gurley, injured left ankle. He's in cities on the sidelines. With the score 24-17, Murray made it that way. And then a 55-yard field goal. Could have gone 65. That was from Marshall Morgan. Mettenberger's having a fine afternoon. So is Jarvis Landry. Tied at 27. Murray back. Found Michael Bennett, 21-yard touchdown, 34-27. And then a moment ago, here's the toss to Kenny Hilliard, followed J.C. Copeland. Extra point good. And we're in the fourth quarter with a lot of time left.
I'm thinking back early in the game, we had those 2 sound bites from Zach and Aaron Murray about each other.
Right.
I remember Aaron said, we battled for about 2 years for this job. Well, if today was a battle for the job between Zach and Aaron, I don't know how you choose between these 2 guys.
No. Bring Joe Cox back?
Oh, that's not nice. For Aaron, you can't.
I've been searching for an answer.
Everybody loves you. You can't do that.
Oh, dear. Reggie Davis. Well, I just thought we'd switch roles for a while.
There we go. Send your tweets to Ed Vern.
Well, that was Jordan Jenkins, and that might have been the clincher. I don't know, but wow. And then this play, Gary.
Yeah, Jarvis Landry makes the catch, and then it's a walk-in.
So here we are, 12-17 remaining. Heavyweight bout indeed. Conley. Play action. Murray rolls out. He'll keep it. He's got a downfield block and out of bounds at the 35. Yesterday he said, did you guys notice that I had 37 yards rushing last week?
Yes, and without Gurley, he might be the guy that gives Georgia enough rushing to keep that offense going.
First and 10. Ball at 36. Marshall getting a heavy workload because of the injury to Todd Gurley. This is Jamorie Rasco, number 54. There's Gurley in civvies on the sidelines. Second down and 8.
Well, we talked about Georgia scoring over 40 points in 10 of their last 12. It looks like they're going to lead at least 41 in this game, aren't they?
They sure are. Second and 5. Good pass. Nice catch, Conley. And I couldn't help but notice the block thrown by Right tackle 75, Colton Houston. He had a good block on that play.
Well, his match up against Jalen Collins that time, and Connolly now goes over 100 yards receiving in this football game.
First down 10 after that 26-yard catch. Under 11 to go. There's Golston leading the way again. And Marshall tripped up as he got to the line of scrimmage.
DJ Welter was the last guy that had a hand on him that time, and he just barely tripped him up.
No huddle.
It's so different seeing LSU's front four not be able to make plays.
It isn't.
You know, I mean, you got to give the Georgia offensive line credit, but it's just different watching this defense.
Blitz threatened.
And everybody said that about LSU, they're just going to reload. They look, you know, they're the same. They're not the same.
No. Blitz. Murray comes right. Throws it away. DJ Welter chasing him. And it's 3rd and 4.
The last time, you know, he hit the 3rd down pass, the deep one to Bennett.
There's Colton Houston, number 75. He's playing for the first time after a 3-year battle over a substance issue with the NCAA. It's a complex story, but kind of amazing. He's out here pulling and blocking, and I don't think so.
Interesting call.
Yeah.
You wonder if they're going to go for it here. With the call being made, do you wonder if they're saying we're going to give them 2 downs to make the first down?
4th and 2. Jalen Mills is the injured player. Young man from DeSoto, a suburb of Dallas. And while they tend to him, we'll take a timeout. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot, Liberty Mutual Insurance, Chick-fil-A, and by the Ford F-150. Jalen Mills walked off unaided on the LSU sideline. Georgia has decided to eschew the 55-yard field goal. They will go for the first down.
Yeah, he likes to go to Michael Bennett in this situation.
4th down and 2. Andrews will snap it back, which he does. Murray across the middle, got him. Justin Scott Wesley.
You really got to love, and it's going to be probably roughing the passer too on the play.
Roughing the passer on the defense, number 15, half the distance, automatic first down.
Great pitch and catch. Let's take a look and see what the call was. Here, hit him in the face too. Hit him right in the face mask. You have to call that.
Yep. So the ball after the penalty is spotted. It was on Jamari Rasco, number 59.
Good route though down here, wasn't it, by Scott Wesley? Beautiful route. Stemmed it up, came across, perfect throw. Again, neither defense can make the stop. We saw Jenkins had an opportunity, couldn't do it. Can LSU find a stop?
J.J. Green is on the... Mark Richt is out there as well and said, no, we're not set to run this.
Timeout, Georgia.
Yeah, J.J. Green, as you mentioned, that's the guy probably too.
Yep.
Again, the ramifications of not having Gurley. Someone down the line, J.J. Green's supposed to shift or move. He goes the wrong way and can't waste a play now.
Election will be announced tomorrow.
Aaron's going to snap it. Why don't you explain all the possibilities of where we could be and why?
I do have a college degree, but it's not that.
Well, they're going to run the same play, whatever it was. They like the play.
And they've got.
Oh, my
goodness. There's a flag down.
That was a timeout, a meeting, and that still happened.
On the offense, number 61, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
They burned a timeout. They put a new player in. They had a meeting. And you know what? David Andrews thought Aaron Murray was under the center.
He sure did.
Thought he was snapping it to him. He did not know it was shotgun. Jeez. I explained everything to you but one thing.
On 1st and 15, Murray. Down the middle again. Incomplete. Knocked away. It was intended for Conley.
Very nice play that time, wasn't it, by Quan Alexander?
Yeah, linebacker dropping back.
Yep.
2nd and 15 in a tie game with under 9 to play. Marshall, no chance.
Boy, read again by Quan Alexander. Said, who will step up and make a play? Number 25 said, I just made 2 of them.
Alexander getting the start today because Taj Jones pulled a hamstring last week. Alexander came into that game against Auburn and had 10 tackles. So now it's 3rd and 16 at the 20.
Remember last time, 3rd and 11, they gave up a touchdown. They're much softer zone here.
Bennett is in the slot to the left. Murray across the middle, tipped and incomplete. Intended for Bennett. So now they'll have to settle for the try for 3 with Marshall Morgan.
Well, after that first down there, and it was 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line, that was a bad penalty. It was ugly. Just ugly plays right in a row. That one, they're lucky it didn't get tipped and intercepted. First high throw, really bad throw that Aaron Murray's made all day.
38-yarder, Marshall Morgan. And P.S. is going to snap this. That's perfect for Morgan. We welcome you back to Sanford Stadium in Athens with a reminder to stay tuned for the Jeep postgame show on CBS Sports. And how about the answer for the undefeated team most surprising? Most of you went for Ole Miss at 3-0. Last we heard, Minnesota was being handled by Iowa. Oh, I beg your pardon. See, they
put that black up
yeah,
there, yes.
I didn't. Oh, well.
Ole
My
Miss was
bad,
second.
as they say. Yeah.
I would have voted for Ole Miss. That would have been my biggest surprise, tell you the truth, because they played at Texas. I didn't know if they could win that game. Of course, they're at Alabama tonight.
Well, Chuck Gardner, our crack statistician, is very happy. The Terps, undefeated this time.
Real.
And he got a pop for the 3rd week in a row.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Real interesting time of the game here now for LSU.
Beckham, he will bring it out from about 4 yards in. And he's tackled.
You know, I don't think with 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, you can really think clock. I mean, it'd be nice to have a 7-minute drive and score the touchdown. But I think you also got to balance that with maybe if we go a little faster, we'll get the ball back. I mean, one thing they know, if anybody's going to score next, it's got to be LSU. Georgia gets the ball back up 3, they might not get it back again.
Interesting how quiet the crowd was when Georgia was on offense inside the 20, and now they start raising the roof. It's Hilliard at running back. Jeremy Hill hasn't seen action in the last series or two. Here's Mettenberger back. I heard a whistle somewhere, but not to be. Jordan Jenkins with the sack. I thought I heard a whistle.
I think this was messed up. Yeah, nobody blocked him that time. There was a lot of calls and check with the knees and switching out of plays before the snap. And you mentioned how loud it was. LSU, obviously, the offensive lineman, and Collins did not hear it.
That is Jenkins' first sack of the season.
No, now they bobbled the snap.
Loose ball. I think LSU recovered. Remember we mentioned, Gary, how Jarvis Jones and Jenkins are twitting each other. Jarvis Jones was getting on him about no sack. Now look at this. Kenny Hilliard recovered it. Now the noise is deafening.
LSU needs to snap this ball. They cannot take a timeout.
5 seconds. 4. They have to take a timeout.
Oh, I'd rather take a 5-yard penalty than a timeout.
They now have 1 remaining.
I mean, what's the difference? Third and, what is it? 3rd and 23 or 3rd and 28? I want my timeout. What a discombobulated series by LSU.
Nice word.
First down, they couldn't get a snap off, the right protection. Second down, they fumble the snap. And on third down, they can't get lined up and are forced to take a timeout, and maybe an ill-advised one. You know, we were wondering what defense might make a stop. It was the offense.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would do that. Stop themselves.
Well, this is the kind of noise one usually hears in Death Valley on Saturday night. Instead, it's Sanford Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
Well, if they make this place will go stone cold quiet.
Amen. 3rd and 23. 3 down linemen. Mettenberger drills it right side. Caught by Beckham.
He got it.
My gosh.
The new laws of offense, I guess.
How about that? Needed 23, got 24.
I mean, not only that, the defense was lined up right at 23 yards and still let him get open.
Hill. Nothing. Josh Harvey Clemens. Leonard Floyd.
And now you start looking at that clock. It's in the 5-minute range. And you start to say, can we put this into the end zone, under a minute?
2nd down 9. Landry and Beckham. Top of the screen. I formation. Play action. Mettenberger across the middle. Crossing pattern again. It's Landry. That has been so effective for them today.
That short crossing route we call them over routes. Right across the linebackers and shallow. And here I am saying they're wasting a timeout and they make a first down. The rules have changed. Everything's different now. Great throw, great play, and now they're in a position to maybe run this thing out and put points on the board.
Mettenberger. Again the crossing route. Again it's Landry. And again a missed tackle. And now they're at the 35-yard line.
Same play as Vern told you. Zach just looks at that outside linebacker to the left. If he goes with the tight end, he drops it to the receiver coming across.
Under 5, same formation. 2 receivers, top of the screen. Play action again. Mettenberger got a man open. It's Beckham. And he's down to the 7-yard line.
Zach Mettenberger living out a dream. His dream had him in a Georgia helmet and colors. But he's now doing it for LSU. 354 yards passing. And Butch Jones told me that he thought he had Mettenberger signed at Cincinnati. But Zach told him, I want to play Georgia. That's why I'm going to LSU. I want one opportunity to play Georgia.
Toss to Hill. Comes outside, he'll score. And LSU has gone on top.
3rd and 23.
Yep.
Same play they scored with before, bouncing it out to the outside. And Hill with basically a walk-in. Think about how that drive started.
Yes. Delahousie. Fruget will hold. And the Tigers lead by 4. 3rd and 23.
Well, I'm back here saying the strategy should have been to save a timeout. And they got that one, but then they came to Beckham later to get it in position to score. And then the pitch to come to the outside for the touchdown.
Nothing to it, right? 3rd and 23. Rather extraordinary drive by the LSU Tigers as for the 5th time they reclaim the lead. It's 41-37. There's the man of the hour, Zach Mettenberger. He's now thrown for 354 yards, but Aaron Murray's going to have one more chance in this renewal of a battle between the two whom, as we said, were once roommates for one semester. This one will come out after the touchback.
Well, this team, LSU, is 10 for 14 on 3rd down conversions. And probably as big as I've ever seen is that 3rd down conversion, 3rd and 23. Led to the drive. Good news for LSU, they finally got the lead. Bad news, 4 down territory, and Aaron Murray has a chance to take it back.
Georgia has 2 timeouts remaining. Clock at 4:14. Justin Scott Wesley made the catch and then tiptoed out of bounds to stop the clock.
And Jalen Mills went for the football, got there just a bit late. You know, the 3-man rush did not work for Georgia. It does not appear it's working for LSU. Let's see when Chavis decides to turn them loose.
4-man rush. One coming from the corner. This one is caught by Arthur Lynch, the tight end. Out to the 45. 3:45 to go.
This is like when we last left you. Remember when Georgia playing Alabama, they had a drive just like this?
Yes, that's right. 2nd and 1. 4-man rushing. Marshall up the middle has the first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily, and Ego Ferguson and David Andrews had a little push and pull there at the end of the play. 41-37. LSU with 1 timeout remaining, and Georgia has 2.
Mike Bobo says Mark Richt always stays calm. His team follows that lead, and he says that's why we were able to stay calm in these 2-minute drives.
Three-man rush again. Murray with time goes back to Lynch over the middle. Now we take a look at it.
LSU's deep safeties are lining up 20 yards deep. The linebackers are dropping to 15 yards, and with 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes to go in the game, Aaron Murray's saying thank you very much. I'll just drop it off and get it to the 50-yard line.
That's Jamarie Rasco, the injured player, and the clock is stopped with 2:39 to go. Came in from behind on Lynch. And the officials will use this injury time to measure for a first down to see if indeed the marker said 2nd down and 1. Yeah, it's first down.
And you saw what he said.
Yep.
Fight like hell. Oh, can I say that?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Yeah.
I just did.
You did. Looked like it might be a Charlie horse for Rasco. Well, Mark Richt yesterday said in his search for a quarterback, he wants 3 things. He wants, number 1, an accurate passer. Number 2, a good decision maker. And number 3, probably most important, an ability to handle the pressure of the job. Here's Murray. J.J. Green, the freshman, is alongside him.
Still playing soft.
Green up the middle. Green with a first down. Gain of 18.
Nice call that time. It's one of those calls, if it doesn't work, everybody thinks, what are you doing here?
Dallas Lee, the left guard, led the way.
J.J. Green, the number 3 back, and out comes Gates. Change at left tackle. That's a big change.
Mark Beard. And Mettenberger can only watch now at the 2-minute mark. From the 25. Three-man rush. Murray deep. Got him open. Touchdown! Justin Scott Wesley. I did not think, Gary, that we would approach 49-42 that we had with the Alabama A&M game. I was wrong.
85 points in this game. Jalen Mills and Craig Lawson, great eye control by the quarterback. Watch him hold the safety in the middle and get the ball down the sideline. Hold the safety, and then throw it. See how he broke? Lawson broke to the middle of the field, and that was all the eye control by Murray. Abusing that safety with his eyes and making the great throw to the outside. But
too much time left. 147. Murray has thrown for 4 touchdowns today. He's got 106 in his career, chasing the SEC record held by Danny Werfel of Florida at 114. Mettenberger's going to have a chance to lead his team down the field again. 147, but only 1 timeout remaining.
But he only needs a field goal to tie this thing also.
That's right.
Okay, so different strategy. In all of the dreams that Zach Mettenberger ever had, going to junior college, transferring, working hard to get it. Do you ever think he dreamed this much? That's a big dream. Have the ball, down 3.
Odell Beckham is the deep man. The kick short at the 7. Beckham. Oh, brother. He was oh so close to breaking that one. T.J. Stripling, number 44, saved a lot of yardage, and a player is down for Georgia. It's Costa Voblis as Murray. You saw the graphic, and here's the special teams standout for Georgia.
Unbelievable story when you think about it, isn't it? 2 guys, they both enrolled early as high school in mid-year, lived together as in mid-January to come in here early as freshmen, competed for a year and a half, and now both of them are dueling.
Well, it's we talked with both of them yesterday, and Aaron Murray was telling us, well, Mark Richt really said that in that spring.
Yeah, Zach had a good game in that spring.
Zach had a great game, but he said really Murray had a better practice period.
The whole spring, Murray was better. So
in all likelihood, had the unfortunate incident not occurred in which Zach Mettenberger was involved,
the self-inflicted unfortunate incident.
Yes, exactly. That's a bad word to use there. Unfortunate.
You know, but he paid his price.
Yep.
Went back down, took a transfer, went to junior college, went to LSU, competed for a job, and won a job.
And here he comes. Grew up in Watsonville, played for Oconee County High School, had 3 different head coaches in his 3 years at the high school. Now he's under the tutelage of Cam Cameron, and he's facing a hostile team and a hostile environment. Georgia brings 4. Got him!
Man. Leonard Floyd again with 2 outside bookends. Floyd and Jenkins. When Jordan Jenkins said, you know what, they're count Leonard Floyd as a freshman, I count him as part of my class. We were recruited together. LSU took a timeout, I guess, right?
It looks that way.
And I wonder if they took the timeout because Zach was dazed.
They have none remaining. Oh boy, did he split. He split the 2 offensive linemen. And Floyd, the tackle results in a loss of 7.
Well, Jenkins had a sack earlier.
Right.
And now Floyd gets a sack. Remember, Jenkins earlier had that opportunity to make the interception just before the last touchdown. Didn't make it. We wondered who would make the big play. Is that the big play? Well, we've already seen. I'm not going there.
No. I'm just thinking, and it's sardonic. They've got 2nd and 17. If they lose 6 more,
they're right there.
Zach Mettenberger's got to go where he wants him. 3rd and 23.
Well, obviously they got 4 chances. They get 3 more downs to make the first down.
Across the middle deep, caught by Beckham.
Yep, geez.
Wow.
2 NFL receivers and a crossing route. Terry Bradshaw's favorite play.
I knew that.
Right?
I did know that,
the
yes.
deep dig.
Yep.
Lynn Swan, John Stallworth, go across the middle. I don't care if there's 3 guys there. I'll hit you with the football.
Here's the snap on first down, across the middle, incomplete. Is there a flag? There is.
They're not calling those today.
No, they are not.
You have to admit that they've been consistent all day.
That was intended for Jarvis Landry. I must say, we talked about this being a heavyweight bout, and they are letting them slug it out today.
No ticky-tack interference call.
Not at all. 2nd and 10 with 1:08 to go. Landry and Beckham near side. Cadron Boone, top of the screen. That's Dixon, the tight end, back to supply blocking help. Mettenberger, that one took off on him. It might have been tipped.
I think it was. I think Ray Drew might have got his hand on that. Not sure. I think it was Ray Drew. Great penetration. The Georgia defense is running stunts. They're getting pressure into the pocket even when they don't get them.
Delahousie is the new place kicker for LSU. A 3-point game, 3rd and 10. Blitz up the middle. Mettenberger across the middle. Incomplete. Is there a flag? There is no flag.
Tried a back shoulder throw that time. No, it's just a towel down, I believe. I think it was number 25. Harvey Clemens did. And, you know, you've got to adapt. When you're the defensive backs and they're not calling that, you can be physical. And he was physical on the play.
4th down 10.
One thing I can predict, could be wrong again, but I bet anything, Georgia will not rush 3.
Timeout, Georgia. Want to take a deep breath?
I'm not that nervous. I enjoy watching this. It's great football.
Boy.
A lot of great athletes on the field. We talked about the offense ahead of the defense. They've been reeling all game. And you can see that without pressure on the quarterbacks, they don't have a chance in the secondary.
I think it should be pointed out now that LSU comes in 4-0, 1-0 in conference play. But if they lose this, all of their goals are still attainable. And the same could be said for Georgia with 1 defeat. It's an out-of-conference defeat. Now, I think if they were to lose this one, they would probably not be in the conversation for a national championship. But keep in mind, LSU got there with 2 defeats a few years ago.
That would take a lot, though.
4th and 10. That's Dixon. Oh, my gosh. Mettenberger heaves it. That's incomplete. It'll go over on downs.
Jenkins doesn't get the sack, but he lays out on the play. He could feel the pressure from Leonard Floyd, number 84 as well, and it forced the throw high. Jenkins and 84 Floyd. Odell Beckham slipped on the play, but I think the ball was too high. I don't think it would have been caught no matter what. Ultimately, it was the pass rush from Georgia that proved to be able to stop Zach Mettenberger.
Murray will take a knee. LSU cannot stop it.
We called it today that this was a game where you got to measure up, and you take measure in this game. I'll tell you, both quarterbacks measured up.
Well, the dream evolved into a bit of a nightmare for Mettenberger, but boy, what heart.
It was.
And what heart there as well.
How fun is that? All of us that competed in our life, it's the one thing we all miss. We don't get to do that anymore.
And let's go down to Tracy, who's with a couple of people who played a rather significant role in this game.
Well, guys, a very emotional scene here. Coach, I see you're tearing up. What did you just say to Aaron Murray there?
Just told him I was proud of him. You know, both those quarterbacks played their tail off. Very impressive, but just so thankful.
You also had a great moment with Zach Mettenberger. What did you say to him?
I told him the same thing. Proud of him. He's a hell of a player.
This caps off a ridiculous September your team had. What does it say about this team and where they stand right now?
I just love them. I'm proud of them. The coaches, these fans are unbelievable. No one does it better than Georgia.
Thanks a lot.
God bless everybody in this stadium.
Thank you so much. And these fans were truly amazing. And this is what quarterbacks dream of. What can you say about your effort against Zach Mettenberger's effort today?
It wasn't me versus Zach. It was University of Georgia versus LSU. And just so proud of our guys for fighting hard all day long on offense, defense. We've been through a lot this season so far. I mean, it's hard to believe it's only been 4 games, and this is one tough team, and just so proud of my guys right now.
What does it say about your team, though, where you guys stand and your hopes and dreams for the rest of the season?
We feel like we have everything in front of us still. We just got to keep working, keep getting better, and keep winning.
We appreciate the time. Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Vern?
All right, Tracy. Well, they will celebrate long into the night on Lumpkin Avenue here in Athens, Georgia. And a few will spill over to Broad where the adult beverages are served. Let's take a look at the player of the game presented by Cadillac. Boy, this was a toss-up, wasn't it? 298 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Composure at the end.
He threw 4, ran for 1 on that quarterback sneak. But you're right, both quarterbacks really led their football team, and those 2 guys, you know, they've gotten their share of criticism through their career. They hung in together, and that's why I think you saw that emotional Mark Richt with his quarterback.
And on the other side, there's always a sad part of all this as well. But a nice scene for a really tough young man. Aaron Murray's night, however, as the Bulldogs win it by 3. Now it's time for the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts with the call. Scott Howard of the Georgia Radio Network.
We trail by 4. Dogs trying to drive down the field and win the ball game. Murray in the shotgun with time in the pocket. Throws. There's Justin Scott Wesley. He catches it on the 4. Tiptoes into the end zone. Touchdown!
And And so it was. The come from behind took a little over 2 minutes. What a wonderful ball game. Zach Mettenberger, Aaron Murray, battling to the end. So for Gary Danielson and Tracy Wilson, Vern Lundquist saying so long from Athens. Our final score, 44-41. David Moulton, Butch Baird, Chuck Gardner, down in the truck, Greg Silver, Steve Milton, and the one who runs it all up here in the booth, Katie McGuire. We'll see you from somewhere next week. The Jeep postgame show is up next after these messages and a word from your local station.